You got me in there, Tom. Oh,
There are thousands of airstrips that are dirt, grass, and mud across the United States, Canada, and the world. Many of these are inaccessible to normal aircraft. There's a certain breed of pilot who wants to be able to land anywhere, either for sport or by pure necessity. They're bush pilots. We practice these skills so we can be safe off airport, so we can get into and out of the tight spots, the backcountry, and the unimproved fields. You'll now watch some of the best pilots in the world show you what they can do with as little as 50 feet. Not only can they take off and land off airport, they can take off and land anywhere. This is the Husky National STOL Series. The Husky National STOL Series is presented by Husky and Avion Aircraft, America's favorite tail dragger. McFarlane Aviation Products, thousands of parts, save thousands of dollars. American Legend Aircraft, not your grandfather's Cub. Duke Propellers, offering a wide variety of carbon-made propellers and rotors. Sarasota Avionics, the #1 aircraft avionics installer in the nation. Rugged Radios, the official communications provider of National STOL. Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance, aviation protected. AirTech Coatings, we make paint fly. Sporty's Pilot Shop, learn to fly here. The Fat Tire Cowboys, an aviation adventure brand steeped in cowboy lore. And now, live from Tehachapi, California, is the Husky National STOL Series, SOCAL STOL.
And good morning from Tehachapi, California for the inaugural event of Cal STOL, or SOCAL STOL event here in Southern California. The sunny Southern California. We're still waiting for that sun to come out here. We're brought to you by Husky National Stole. And although this is not the first event that National Stole has had, it is the first event that we've had here all the way on the West Coast in California. And especially at this altitude, 4,000 feet, this will be the highest event to date. Looks like we're lining up some aircraft here at this time. The wind appears to be holding at around 13 to 19 knots down the runway. It's not gusting, so that's looking good. We do have some fog at the end of the runway off a few miles, but the locals say that will burn off, and it's not really a factor. It's outside of our pattern, and so we're looking forward to getting as much as we can done before the winds start to pick up a little bit, about 11 o'clock as it's forecasted, 10 to 11. We'll see how all that goes. And yeah, here we are, and we'll give you another word from our sponsors here in just a moment. Let's see here. It looks like it's 59 degrees now, and get you this updated weather information here. Of course, when you need it, you can never get it. 52 degrees right now, and foggy wind looks like it's supposed to start at 10 o'clock right now. And we'll see what goes on with that as it bumps up. And first up, we have Don Mickey in his 1953 Cessna 180 from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Don Mickey was helping me do some announcing here yesterday, because everybody knows I need it. But here he can do both things. Getting warmed up here on the line, waiting for the clearance to come up and line up on the chalk line. Now, we give the pilots an opportunity to write some information on their biography. And some people take it pretty technical, and it doesn't look like Don was too concerned about it. He's a really lighthearted guy. He says, I'm an Aquarius who likes long walks on the beach, listening to good music. I don't kiss on the first date unless you get me a little inebriated, but I love to cuddle. What a great sense of humor Don has, for sure. He's got a Norland 0470 in this Cessna 180, running 260 horsepower. His team name is Uncle Harvey's Short Field Flying Circus. Flew in here from New Mexico 2 days ago, getting ready for this event. Now, this is Don's third event, I believe. I first met him in Texas a couple of years ago, and then Outlaw in Arizona. There in Yuma, Arizona. So this isn't his first rodeo. Everybody's trying to get warmed up here. It's a little chilly as the sun isn't really breaking through this marine layer it's got too much. A little colder than we expected, but that's good. So we're showing 50 degrees actually now with a wind 300 at 10. So that is a 10-knot wind, right down the runway, right nearly down the runway. We just wait here on the officials to clear Don to approach the line, at which point the officials will send it over to the air bosses, and then they'll roll him up to the line. Right now, we're just waiting for him to warm up his engine. Looks like Don will be the only one in the class today for the heavy touring. Heavy touring, the 180s, 182s, and the like in that category. Reason is all the other guys who were trying to get here couldn't get here because of weather. A lot of them were coming out of the north, and apparently they got stuck in some icing conditions on the way down. They kept trying to get here, but they just couldn't do it, so they ended up having to turn around and go back. So Don is on his own. It looks like he'll be fighting for the West Coast Championship, where our Bumblebee, flown by Andrew Patry, will be our North Coast champion, and both of those guys are always going after Warren Gravelar on the East Coast. So this will start the little rivalry between them if they can say that they're champions in their own right. Takes a little extra time for that bigger engine to get warmed up here in this 50-degree weather. You know, I take that back. I see the Wren taxiing out right now. And the Wren is a Cessna 182 with the Wren mods, flown by Todd Hendricks. I see him taxiing over. So Don will not be alone. Andrew Patry signed up, but unable to make it. He's a regular in the National STOL event. Todd Hendricks is also, this will be his fourth competition, so he's not a beginner either. He also has multiple aircraft that he could choose from. I asked him, with all the other aircraft that he has, many of them far more capable than the one he's in now, why did he choose this one? He says he's mastered the flying of the other aircraft, and this one he's only had for about 6 months, so he wants to get more comfortable with this, and nothing but respect for that sort of a idea and why he's flying this particular aircraft in the heavy touring. Alrighty, Don Mickey being called up to the line. So for those of you not familiar with traditional STOL, the aircraft are measured by their mains, whether they're a nose gear or a tail wheel, as this one is a tail wheel or traditional gear. You see him get the thumbs up right there from the official. That means his axles are over the chalk line. Power up. Sometimes the tail will come up just a little bit. And he's off at about 205 feet. We'll get that accurate measurements here in just a moment, but from my angle where they're standing, looks like around 205, maybe 204. Not too bad. 203, officials say. 203. Now, Todd Hendricks taking the line. This is the Wren Cessna 182J, 1967. All these fences, what we call fences up on the tops of the wings, all of these will move as his ailerons move, and as he steers, it'll direct wind right over towards the tops of those ailerons and keep them things flying. And he powers up. Now this plane's a lot heavier, so you'll expect it to take off quite a bit more distance. There we go. Not too much more. About the 290 something. $283. They're calling it 283. Not bad. 80 feet longer than Don Mickey. Our event here is brought to you by Husky Aviat Aircraft, where luxury aircraft and backcountry meet. You'll find an Aviat Husky. Many manufacturers claim to have a large mission profile, but only the Husky delivers. Meet America's favorite tail dragger, the Aviat Husky. Faster, stronger, more. And here comes Don Mickey. Laps down. Dragging it on a little bit of power. He's going to have to goose it a little bit. And comes up short. We call that a scratch. Now, the pilots are not informed whether they have a scratch or not because we don't want them to be distracted by any information that they're receiving. We don't want them looking back at the line to keep everybody safe on either side of the course. So they find out later. We got some water down on the course today. This looks so much better than it did yesterday. It was quite dusty yesterday, which we're going to need in a little while when Hal Stockman comes out with his plow. Starts plowing the ground out. So as the pilots in the heavy touring class did their pattern, they see that this fog bank is rolling in. It's getting a little closer to the runway. They're communicating with each other and how they're going to handle that, and we'll adjust accordingly. Here comes Todd Hendricks in the Ren Mod Cessna 182, and he's going to come up short. He's having a little trouble judging on this heavier aircraft. It's a different aircraft. He's used to flying a much lighter. He has several different aircraft, and they're all much lighter. This is the heaviest one, I think. He said he's got a Waco that he can land right on the lines every time. And we're just waiting for both the pilots and the officials to communicate on what they want to do about the pattern. This fog bank is expected to burn off, but it is coming in. And number 53, Don Mickey from Albuquerque's taxiing by. Heading back, I have not heard a word on the final decision on what they're doing. They could just cut the pattern a little shorter. They might even be able to change the pattern to the opposite side of the runway. So Todd Hendricks, one unique thing about this aircraft, we're talking about it being heavy, he has a passenger in the plane. And that's new. So what I'm learning is that they need the ballast in the plane, some forward weight, because the canard that's on the front of this Ren, when you pull the elevator, the canard goes the opposite direction to always keep the plane level. And we see the engine turn off on Don Mickey. I can only assume that that means he's going to wait on this fog bank. I see the officials coming in. We're going to wait for this to move out or burn off here. Looks like we're going to have a 30-minute delay on this for weather as they go out into that pattern. They're hitting that fog bank. All right, we're going to bring some pilots over to talk to us to fill this little gap. And Don Mickey's a good one. He was with us all day yesterday. Another sponsor of ours is McFarland Aviation Products. With everything from nose to tail, McFarland has kept the general aviation community flying over 50 years. They offer 35,000 products or more for hundreds of aircraft, including the MT propellers, which they are a distributor for, that we see some of our competitors flying with. Check out all of McFarland's products and more at McFarlandAviation.com. Also, Rugged Radios, the official communications partner of the Husky National STOL Series, specializing in aviation communications. Rugged Air specializes in aviation communications for students, flight instructors, charter services, and general aviation pilots. Our aviation Headsets offer comfort and noise-canceling performance at an affordable price. Choose from passive noise reduction or active noise-canceling headset options with uncompromised comfort. Designed with the highest level of audio performance in mind, our aviation intercoms offer rugged, durable construction for pilots and students alike. With cables, adapters, carrying bags for all your aviation communication equipment, Rugged Air has what you need for communication to take flight. And AirTech Coatings. Since 1981, AirTech Coatings has been revolutionizing aircraft paint. Utilizing polyurethane technology, AirTech Coatings offers the aircraft owner the advantages of inherent toughness, flexibility, fire resistance, chemical resistance, and the polyurethane wet look in an infinite choice of colors, both standard and metallic. AirTech Coatings will make your paint fly. Looking for aviation insurance? Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance. Look no further than Ladd Gardner. With an extensive team of professional aviators, they will give you the attention you deserve, building a relationship with an agent that you can trust. Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance. Aviation protected.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good.
Let's meet up at the compound, group up.
At 10-4. Yeah, for sure, dog. Good, little driver. Straight on through.
When it's time to recover and paint your fabric-covered aircraft, look no further than AirTech Coatings. Since 1982, our FAA-approved system provides you with a shiny, durable, easy-to-apply product. The AirTech system has fewer steps than any other product on the market today, saving you both time and money. While using cutting-edge technology, we offer a wide range of products. Whether it's for work, play, antique, or aerobatic, we have you covered. Remember, we make paint fly.
All right, and we're back with Don Mickey, who is in the number 53 Cessna 180. He was leading the group there, or the flight as we call it. And Don, I saw you guys, or heard you guys talking about the weather as you guys got into the pattern. So tell us more about that.
Sure. Yeah, it was. We started a lot earlier than originally planned, and one of the challenges starting earlier is sort of fog, low-lying clouds. We took off, turned crosswind, and had to climb a bit to get above the clouds, stay clear of the clouds. I was up above them about 400 feet. But we just want to pause just in case, as that changes and moves in, we're just going to let it burn off a little bit more so that we stay legal and no one gets into the actual clouds.
Sure. Can certainly understand that. Safety always being our first priority. And also that fog bank right there is right against the mountains. It makes that mountain invisible now.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you weren't familiar with that, you could definitely get in some trouble. And so were you communicating also with Todd Hendricks?
We were communicating. Todd was behind me. We all sort of talked about it there on the radio and decided, obviously, the officials made the final decision for the event. We as pilots make our decisions for ourselves.
That's right. You are still the PICs, even though you're being run by all of this. You got air traffic controllers and everybody talking, but you're still the one ultimately responsible for everything, right?
Exactly.
All right. Cool. So what are you thinking about the weather today?
I'm just hoping it stays about like this, and obviously winds will get a little stronger, but looks like it's right down the runway. And the forecast looks like it might stay that way. Who knows?
Right. Right.
We can guess all day long, but until it actually happens.
Sure.
It's supposed to be cool today, which is a change from yesterday.
Yeah, it's showing 50 degrees right now.
Yeah, and I looked at the high. It was supposed to be about in the mid-60s. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it's 20 right now.
Yeah,
I feel
it feels like it's 20.
Yeah.
That wind, it's a cold wind.
It's a cold wind, and it's a humid wind.
A cold, humid wind.
Unlike the dry heat.
Unlike the dry heat that I'm used to.
Yeah. Right. And for everybody here, we've got this downtime so you don't get bored. You see those really beautiful planes over there. We got a Stearman, and we got the Antonov, a Russian Antonov AN-2, a very unique aircraft. This one is from the Golden Age Flight Museum, where Todd Schultz is a CEO over there, but Mom and Dad is here helping out while he's out flying as a corporate pilot. This Antonov AN-2 is the largest single-engine biplane in the world. It's still in service in Ukraine. The tail wheel, I think I asked you yesterday if you'd seen that tail wheel. Did you ever get a chance to get over there?
I didn't get over there yet.
So that tail wheel is bigger than some of these. Actually, I think the tail wheel is bigger than the main wheels on your 180.
Really?
It's impressive. Yeah,
wow.
Very, very big. And that's here at the local museum in Tehachapi. The museum, the Golden Age Flight Museum, is open the second Saturday from 10 to 2 each month. They have a Amelia Earhart display, a Lindbergh display, World War II, a local hero, Poncho Barnes, and a lot of other memorabilia from other pilots as well. And then also we got the Stearman over there, locally owned by one of our competitors today, Dustin Mosier. The 9-cylinder radial over there. I got to look inside that thing, and it looks like you could just have a picnic in there. It's so big. That cockpit. You ever been in a Stearman?
I have been in a Stearman once.
Once?
Yeah.
Did you go in the air and stuff?
We went in the actual air. We went in the upside down position.
Oh yeah, I don't do that. Yeah, you were inverted.
Yeah, it was fun.
Did you get the I'm inverted sticker or patch?
No, I never. That's
a thing.
I missed out on all the stickers and the cut T-shirts and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm gonna help you get into the cool club.
You're gonna make me a sticker?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a Top Gun reference too. If you didn't hear it, I guess that movie came out last night, and unfortunately, I was super excited about going over and watching it, and that just didn't happen.
No, these pilots are a little flaky around here.
They're way flaky. Yeah. I don't know what their deal is.
Yeah, flaky.
They're all about it's too cold and it's too late.
I'm too tired. It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's true. It was 8. They do go there, but they get up early. Yeah, some of them. Some of them. You got forced today.
I got forced. Yeah, I was supposed to be out there first, and it looks like I could have slept in for another half an hour.
It does look like that, except just like at Reno, you could get up 3 times before 9 o'clock to get all your briefings in, and then go back to bed till 2.
Right.
But you still got to get up for those briefings.
Exactly.
So, did you get some stick time in that Stearman?
Not real stick time. I was kind of a
you're not convincing me.
A passenger, and I touched the stick and held it for a little while. And,
Right.
That was about.
That was it.
No.
And they can't see you, so you could have been touching the
could have
stick
been-
all you wanted,
I
and they
could have
never
yanked
would
it
have
and they
known.
would've known.
Yeah, that stick is huge. What is it, like 3 feet long? It's like a
It's like
yardstick.
it's like a big broomstick.
It is. It's huge. It's huge. And Dustin was telling me about some of the little techniques, how much you got to move that thing over in crosswinds. I guess
Yeah.
they don't like crosswinds.
Get some bruises on your knees.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
said. You'll hit your legs over there. Yeah. One of our competitors actually has a Stearman over there from Stearman Field. I think you know that, gentleman. What the hell is this? Yeah, so Austin Clemens is flying a Stearman as well, in addition to many other aircraft. Little guy's got had 2,000 hours
He was
the
18.
day before he turned 19.
And how, is he 19 now?
He
Or
is 19.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He's always going to be 19.
He's always gonna be
He could be
19.
22.
I think he's always going to be 18 to everyone.
He is gonna be 18.
Because you know,
Yes.
that's when he sort of came out.
Right. And Jaden Newman, she's still 16, regardless.
Regardless of how old she ever gets.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know if I someday see a beer in her hand, I'll still say she's
What are you
16.
doing? What are you doing
I'll
with that
pull it
beer?
out. I'll
Yeah.
pull the beer out of her hand. Yeah. So, but another awesome pilot. The up-and-comer groups, for sure.
Yeah, they're just a few years younger than we are.
Just a couple.
Just a few.
A couple. Yep.
Yeah, maybe 3-4 years.
Yep. Yesterday we had Bradley Mosley, and he was here from a local university, aeronautics university here, and we were looking forward to having some of their other students out here, but we ended up seeing any of them, or at least I haven't. If you guys are out here in the stands, come out and talk to us. We'd love to hear about your experience at your school.
Hey, you guys are welcome to jump on this radio and to steal these headphones and this
Right?
mic from me at any
Right.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Are you bored already?
No, I'm not bored. I just,
yeah.
you know.
So California Aeronautical University is what I believe it's called, locally here in Bakersfield, and they're kind of more of a straight line school, as opposed to like the Sling Academy, down in the south that just steals a plane from the school and comes and competes with it.
They did steal that plane, didn't they? They were
They
partners
did.
in crime
Yeah.
yesterday.
What I learned is that the two pilots that are flying that plane are actually boyfriend and girlfriend, and they. What did they call? They Bonnie and Clyde.
The Bonnie and Clyde of that plane, I think. And I believe they said they were taking it for lunch.
Yeah, we're
and
going to
then
borrow it for lunch.
Borrow for lunch. We're going to keep it on the paved runway. Don't
Yep.
worry about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they came out here, and I guess they didn't realize this whole thing was on video.
People don't. Criminals don't think like that.
But with James, with his family background.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
the
I
whole
hear you.
Carney thing.
The whole Carney. Yeah,
you
that's right.
get used to that lifestyle.
Yeah. So his mom was a Carney.
Right.
Got him into flying in the flying circus, which you also belong to. You're in the short field flying circus.
Uncle Harvey's short
Uncle
field
Harvey's
flying
short
circus.
field flying circus.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a.
All right.
We
Yeah.
do lots of short field tricks.
Right. Right.
And that's it.
So when you're not doing these STOL competitions, what are you doing?
What I own a printing business in Albuquerque. And I print all that hate mail you get before an election.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. So what does it take to print all these extra ballots that I'm hearing about?
All the extra ballot. Oh, I don't do the ballots. I stay away from that. I just print hate.
You look nervous.
Just
when
the
I
hate.
ask that.
Yeah. Just the hate mail. Just the.
You
just
look
the
guilty, actually.
Stuff that talks about how the other candidates pawn scum and that kind of stuff.
They do that.
Yeah,
I try to stay away from that.
It's gotten pretty rough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Times are changing, huh?
The times they are changing.
So what's so out there? You're in New Mexico. There's some beautiful mountains out there. You fly out there,
Always.
right? And so, what are some popular places you like to attend out there in New Mexico?
There are a lot of there's a growing sort of
backcountry
aviation in the Gila, which is in southwestern New Mexico.
The Gila, not N-A-Hilo?
The Gila.
The Gila.
Gila,
Oh,
like the Gila monster.
Like the Gila monster.
Correct.
The Gila.
Gila. In the Gila area, there are a number of backcountry strips, and the New Mexico Pilots Association and the Backcountry Pilots Association. Is it association?
Right.
Whatever.
So they have
have been very active lately in getting out there and maintaining those runways and working and actually improving some that have been sort of abandoned, some of the old Forest Service strips and things
now, are
like
those
that.
BLM owned or state owned? Or?
I believe I don't know, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I could make stuff up though.
Yeah,
but
that's what
they're
we're here for.
they're all BLM owned. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yep.
I honestly don't know. But they've been working with the state, with different organizations to really improve those, and they've done a really good job. Now, although they could all be burnt to a crisp right now.
That's right. You said there were fires going on.
There are major fires all over New Mexico. Some the biggest fires in history, in state history, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That also with droughts.
With droughts, and then the winds that have sort of been constant lately.
The winds have been plaguing us at every event that we went to across the nation.
Right.
Winds have everybody said this is just unseasonably late in the year for the winds, and here we are at Tehachapi looking at windmills, acting like we're surprised.
Right. Yeah. Oh, what? My gosh.
Yeah, I don't know
wind?
why they just popped those up there a week ago. They're like, well,
I
we're
thought
gonna
they
get
were
wind next week. They're mobile.
When I've driven through here before, I thought they were just decorations.
Right. Right.
Flowers.
There's a lot of artistry
large
that goes
flowers,
on in SoCal.
Right.
So
I thought they were just a bunch of white flowers up there on the hill.
They kind of look like that.
They kind of do.
Until you get really close and you find out how big they are.
And they kill some birds.
They do kill some birds, I'm told, statistically. But
we've heard.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've never actually seen any of the dead birds that they injured. But so I understand your cockpit different than, say, Warren Gravelar. Did I get that right? Gravelar.
I don't even try to pronounce it anymore.
Yeah, Warren G.
Warren G.
Warren G. in the 46 Cessna 180.
Number 46.
Number 46.
Warren,
Gravel bar.
Warren
That's
Gravel
right.
Bar.
He was announced because he was a collegiate diver and they got tired of it, or they just called him Warren Gravel Bar.
Gravel Bar. Okay.
Which sounds really awesome if that was your real name. A heavy touring backcountry pilot and your last name is Gravel Bar. How cool is that?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
so awesome. So you have some digital or glass cockpit stuff in yours?
I do. I actually have a full Dynon panel.
Full Dynon. Okay.
Yeah, and the Dynon was a great way to go. It's certified. Started in the experimental market and became certified for pretty much all planes as far as I know. And it's great. It saved a lot of weight. Got rid of the vacuum system. Gives me a lot of information.
Nice. And how big is your display there?
I have I have two of them. I have one that's
Of course you do.
Of course, right? I have one that's a 7-inch. I don't know if it's exactly 7 inches, and one that's the 10-inch. So, or 10.5. I don't remember exactly, but. Two different displays, both sizes. They do two different sizes, and like I said, it gives a lot of information. It's very, very configurable. I can put in anything where I want it to be. A full engine monitoring as well, and I can configure all of the engine monitoring the way I want.
That's awesome, because all the original equipment had no ability to engine monitor too well, right?
When I got this plane, I think. Other than a radio tacked on and a transponder tacked on the bottom of the panel, it was pretty much original from 1953.
53, that's incredible.
Yeah, and so there were some huge instruments we took. I mean, they didn't look huge in the front, but you take out the back, and they were just huge hunks of iron.
People underestimate. All you see is that little faceplate, and you're like, well, that's not that big, but it goes back 10, 12 inches of just metal and liquid, and it's just heavy.
A big boat anchor back there.
Right.
And so, it saves some weight. And Dan Reynolds is apparently saying hello to us.
That is awesome. Dan Reynolds, an icon in traditional STOL, now joining the national STOL here. Last we saw him was at Swamp STOL.
Yeah, Louisiana.
Hovering
that thing in.
It was impressive. I got a video of that where he just sat there in the air and just hovered. It was fantastic. And what a nice guy, too.
And he's
just a great guy.
And he loves his gator bites.
He does love his gator bites. Well, that was the first time I had ever had gator when we were there.
Really?
That was pretty neat. Yeah, I grew up in the desert.
Right.
And there's not a lot of gators there.
Not a lot of gators.
No. And so we didn't get any of that. We could eat grasshoppers and snakes.
Grasshoppers, snakes, lots of rattlesnakes.
I never actually ate them. I kind of like them. I'm friendly with them.
Are you?
Yeah. But, so hello, Dan Reynolds. Thank you for checking in. We appreciate it. We're missing you out here in sunny California. I keep saying that, but I'm hoping it's going to get there.
There's some sun. I can see it over there.
I got to put my hood back on.
I know, it's chilly.
It's still a little chilly with that wind.
Yeah, it's really great. Some of the other competitors who have been involved in these the National STOL events in the past have sent me text messages. Yesterday they were watching Andrew Patry, who was trying to make it down here and ended up having to stop in he's from Washington. Stopped in Oregon because of icing conditions.
Yeah, I heard that. Icing conditions.
Yeah, in May.
And Andy flies that thing, the Bumblebee, everywhere.
He's amazing.
He is. And a wonderful guy, too.
Wonderful, wonderful guy. He was, so he was texting me, trying to get down here. I'm really disappointed he didn't get down here.
Yeah, that is a bummer. You know, he really, really pushes that plane
he does.
as far as he can.
And he's amazing to watch.
Yes,
and,
I remember the first time I saw him at Outlaw Stoll where he was coming in to land, and when he landed, he just locked up his brakes, and they just chattered all the way down the runway.
All the way down.
And he's like, well, I got to replace these tires anyway.
Right?
It just bald spotted him all the way down.
Yeah, he's got that. That plane's a sleeper. It looks a little rough on the outside.
A little rough.
And on the inside, it's
yeah, he's
pretty tricked out.
Do I go with paint or titanium gear? And
Right.
the competitor says, well, the paint's not going to make me go faster, so let's get the titanium gear, and I can be a lot lighter.
I think he's been trying to talk me into getting titanium gear as well. And I started thinking maybe it's because he thinks if he buys this titanium gear, he won't have enough money for gas to fly anywhere.
That might be true. That might be true. And Warren Gravel Bar is out there saying, no, don't get those. I'll help you and show you little tips on how to fly, but don't go with titanium gear.
Don't go with titanium gear.
Yeah,
You don't want that.
You don't want that.
You don't need that.
It's too expensive.
Nobody needs that.
Nobody needs it.
And,
but me, unless somebody wants to give me some.
Give
I'm
me
sure
some
he's out there saying
sponsorships.
that.
Any sponsorships out there?
I would be happy to take some gear. I have a 180. I look pretty, and my plane's pretty. You can make your gear look pretty too.
But the thing about Warren is he's not only pretty, very pretty.
Very pretty. Unfortunately
for the rest of us. But and that mustache.
Oh, the mustache.
Yeah. But he's also amazing. I mean, the way he flies that plane.
He's
consistently amazing.
He's awesome. He's really, really good. You know, I think he excels at everything he does.
Yeah, he seems like that type of guy.
For sure. I know. Darn it. Not us, right?
Well, they got us sitting here talking to microphones.
Right. I know. Yeah, watching dirt get water sprayed on dirt.
At least they're making some mud for us out there.
That's true.
Nice.
I prefer mud over the dust we had.
Yeah, it'll be washing off the bottom of our wings.
You were talking about your glass cockpit earlier, and that reminds us of one of our sponsors, Sarasota Avionics and Maintenance. Sarasota Avionics and Maintenance was founded in the principles of providing superior service and customer support at a competitive price. This is made possible by seeking out and retaining the best avionics technicians and maintenance professionals in the industry. And our staff of 70-plus employees brings a lifetime of aviation knowledge and experience. From small troubleshooting jobs to custom panel retrofits, our service, avionics, and maintenance shops cater to the specific needs of each customer. Sarasota Avionics has 5 Florida locations, a little bit of a distance from here.
A little bit from here.
Lantana, Venice, Tampa, Sarasota, and Punta Gorda, none of which I know where those are at.
In Florida, I imagine.
In Florida, everybody knows where that's at.
Yeah.
Visit Sarasota Avionics at one of our many locations or check them out on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. That is Sarasota Avionics and Maintenance. Also, another sponsor is Legend Aircraft. American Legend Aircraft is building the most innovative and advanced Cubs today. If there's any notion in your mind that flying these airplanes is a sensation both beautiful and profound, you owe it to yourself to try one. There's only one true original. Realize your dreams, American Legend Aircraft.
Well, was that a commercial break right there? Like unofficial?
I think it was just you bored me.
And I'm boring.
I think I was boring you earlier.
I'm a boring guy.
We'll just it was a segue. I figured that would fit in there.
Right, that was good.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm winging it here.
I'm sending the production crew some
pictures. Oh yeah, they'll put that up on the screen.
Of my panel.
That would be great. Let me see your panel there.
I'm hoping that Dynon sees this and somebody calls me.
Yeah,
because
just to say thanks.
I literally think I sell a whole panel for them at every one of these events. I show so many people the panel.
You're always bragging about them.
I am.
You are.
I love it.
Yeah, it is cool.
And I'm hoping that they'll say, we've got this autopilot coming out. Maybe you could use one.
Maybe you could use one because you fly so far.
Because you fly so far for these events, and it gets boring.
It does.
Especially if you've seen that desert between Albuquerque and here.
I have.
Yeah,
I have.
I've driven it many times as well, and I thought it was pretty boring from the ground.
Right. But from the air?
From the air, I found it almost as boring.
The trouble is, and talking to Hal, I found out the solution to that is
fly low.
High are you
fly low? Fly low. It's better, right?
Yeah. Well, how high? Are
I
you
was flying at about 8,500 feet.
What is that? AGL?
So AGL, well, it depends where you are, right? Anywhere from a couple thousand feet to 8,000 feet,
Okay, so you're a couple thousand feet too high, according to Hal.
Probably 8,000 feet too high.
8,000 feet.
Right.
7,997 feet too high. That's why you're not enjoying the lizards that are out there.
Right. You can
the foxes, the coyotes, the mountain sheep. Have you seen the mountain sheep there?
I'm too high.
The Banning Pass. As you go through the Banning Pass off to your left, or if you're coming through the Joshua Tree area to your right, that set of rocks right there, there's herds of sheep in there, and it's pretty cool. I've seen it in the helicopter when we've flown through with the Mercy Air coming from our life flight missions, coming across there and seeing the herds just move through. It's like they're invisible if they don't move.
Wow.
It's pretty neat.
I've never seen that. We'll have to maybe fly low and check that out.
Fly definitely.
But not too low.
But not too low, because that is the Banning Pass, and it's not a matter of if the wind is blowing there, it's which direction the wind is blowing there.
I think I got to go fly an airplane.
All right. Hey, Don, thank you very much. Maybe we'll see you back here in a little while.
Yeah, I'll drop back in after I fly.
Outstanding.
I'm hoping they won't count that first one that we did there.
Do-over. Just go for do-over.
Do-over.
I bet
because
you if you talk to Hendricks, I'm sure Todd would be like, yeah, let's go ahead.
I think Todd and I will both agree that we should just start over because
you scratched?
Well, it was just a flight to sort of test the conditions.
It really was.
Really make sure for the event organizers how to proceed.
You could sell that.
I'm working on it.
Just walk by the trailer on the way back and say, this is a do-over, right?
Yep, exactly.
I was for interest of safety here.
For safety. Yeah.
We can now see the mountain behind us again.
Okay,
there's still a little bit of fog there, but
I think we're good though.
That looks good. Looks a lot better. I see a little bit of blue sky coming.
Cool. All right, Josh. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Sounds good. All right. Be sure and tag the following Husky National Stole on all of your social media platforms and use the hashtag #ShortIsBetter. And for Instagram, @National Stole, and Facebook, National Stole Series. And look for us on TikTok. I'm not sure what that is quite yet, but we bet it'll be up there very shortly. And as these guys walk back to their planes, I'll talk to you about Sporty's Pilot Shop. Learn to fly here. Now it's in its 61st year. Sporty's the world's largest pilot shop and the leader in the development of pilot training content. Sporty's pilot training platform consists of more than 20 aviation courses for smartphones, tablets, and TVs. Also, Duke Propellers USA offers a complete range of aeronautical carbon-made propellers and rotors manufactured by Duke Elysees Propellers Company, founded in 1997. Because of the conditions, I just got the word that we are going to completely start over, which is going to be outstanding for these guys. Don's definitely going to be happy about that. So that's awesome. I still don't see him climbing into his airplane. Looks like they're still working their way over there. And if you're just joining us, welcome to the 2022 inaugural event of SOCAL STOL, brought to you by Husky National Stole. And although it's not the first event, it's the first event in California and the first event at this elevation at 4,000 feet here in Tehachapi, California. This event is brought to you by Husky Aviat Aircraft, where luxury aircraft and backcountry meet. You'll find an Aviat Husky. Many manufacturers claim to have a large mission profile, but only Husky delivers. Meet America's favorite tail dragger, the Aviat Husky. Faster, stronger, more. And McFarland Aviation Products. With everything from nose to tail, McFarland has kept the general aviation community flying for over 50 years. They offer over 35,000 products for hundreds of aircraft, including the MT propellers that they're a dealer for, that you see some of the competitors flying with here. Check out all of McFarland's products and more at McFarlandAviation.com. Also, Rugged Radios, specializing in aviation communications. Rugged Air specializes in aviation communications for students, flight instructors, charter services, and general aviation pilots. Our aviation headsets offer comfort and noise-canceling performance at an affordable price. Choose from passive noise reduction or active noise-canceling headset options with uncompromised comfort. Designed with the highest level of audio performance in mind, our aviation intercoms offer rugged, durable construction for pilots and students alike. With cables, adapters, and carrying bags for all your aviation communication equipment, Rugged Air has what you need for communication to take flight. And also a shout out to AirTech Coatings. Since 1981, AirTech Coatings has been revolutionizing aircraft paint, utilizing these guys are messing with me here. Utilizing polyurethane technology, and AirTech Coatings offers the aircraft owner advantages of the inherent toughness, flexibility, fire resistance, chemical resistance, and polyurethane wet look in an infinite choice of colors, both standard and metallic. AirTech Coatings will make your paint fly. And if you're looking for insurance, check out Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance. With an extensive team of professional aviators, they will give you the attention you deserve, building a relationship with an agent you can trust. Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance. Aviation protected. The wind has picked up just a couple miles an hour, 310 at 13. It was 10 earlier, now it's 13. I see the pilots getting ready to be escorted out to their aircraft. And Don is on his way to his number 53, a Cessna 180. 1953, which I'm just now putting together. Maybe that's how he came up with that number. I'll have to ask him if he comes back here. Looks like Don Mickey is lost trying to figure out where he parked his airplane. Look out for those squirrel holes. Don't want him taking a digger. And the aircraft next to Don's is Todd Hendricks, Wren 182. The Wren mods on this 182 were designed back in 1963. One of the most obvious things about the aircraft is the fences on the tops of the wing and the movable elevator, which is called a canard, on the nose of the aircraft. It has full span double slotted flaps, movable spoilers to assist aileron control. These planes are quite rare because at the time that they were built back in 1963, they doubled the cost of the 182. And the 182 was not a cheap plane. It was more of a real carrier workhorse for lifting stuff out of the backcountry or carrying families here and there. So the price with that plane and that modification on it actually doubled the aircraft cost. And what that did is it bankrupted the company in 1969 after the U.S. military did not pick up the project, which was one of their intents in doing all of these modifications. That plane there, it's a big one. It's got a gross weight of 2,800 pounds, has a max takeoff of 3,650 pounds, but it carries 80 gallons of fuel. You can go some places with that. It has a flat 6 horizontally opposed IO 470. With 260 horsepower, he might have bumped his up to 270 horsepower. Has a max speed of 160 miles an hour, and it stalls at 29 miles an hour. Now, you compare that to, say, one of the light sport ones. Those are stalling still in the 30s. So that is pretty impressive that that plane can do that. Also has a service ceiling of 19,200 feet. Quite impressive. Looks like Don Mickey's got his ignition turned on. I start to see some lights. So Todd Hendricks flying that Renmod aircraft. Started his flying obsession at the age of 17. He's been addicted to it ever since. If it doesn't make lots of noise, fly slow, or have a radio in front of it, he probably doesn't want to fly it. He says his aircraft, the N3 Papa Romeo, is a beast. He calls it a 1967-ish Cessna 182. And he's showing 300-ish horsepower on a P-Ponk 0470 on his specific aircraft. He says she's not the prettiest, but she breathes Budweiser, chews Skull, burps bald eagles, and that's enough for him. So we're either waiting for clearance from the tower for him to start his engine, or after speaking with Don, he's still trying to figure out how to start his engine. Looks like he found the seat belts, so that's a good start. I see him rustling around in there. Either that or there's some bees. And the prop is turning just in time before his battery dies. Awesome. Looks like Todd Hendricks is also starting his motor as well. And it's so unfortunate for all of us to not have Andrew Patry here in the Bumblebee. He's so entertaining to watch and just such a great guy. Unfortunately, got stuck in weather and couldn't get down here. He's actually missed the last couple events because of logistics or something getting repaired with his plane. So unfortunately, Andrew, although he made it halfway to every competition in the last month and has not been able to complete any of them. So it's so unfortunate for him. But also fortunate for all of his competitors because he is a fierce competitor. We're waiting for clearance for them to taxi out. Of course, got to rewarm those motors up. Would like to mention Fat Tire Cowboys. The Fat Tire Cowboys is an aviation adventure brand steeped in cowboy lore. Fat Tire Cowboys focused on spreading a passion for aviation, the love of God, and a life lived well. Great group of guys. They also have some really good products that we see as well that they oftentimes support for our winners. Well, I got this downtime. We'd really like to thank all of our volunteers that come out here, not paid, just to help out, working with the gate, sometimes concessions. And this is the way aviation works and is able to get these big events on. A lot of these folks you see out here in the field are just volunteering their time to help out, and we really, really appreciate it. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you. And Don is taxiing up to the line. Number 53 in his 53 Cessna 180. So this is a 260 horsepower engine. Creeping up to the line. Here comes the power. for Uncle Harvey's short field flying circus, and the brakes are off. Looks like they're showing them at about 225. And Todd Hendricks taking the line in number 427, the 1967 Cessna 182J with the Ren mods. He has double slotted flaps. You'll see these flaps are a lot longer than a traditional Cessna 182. And lifts off at around the 220-ish mark, if I'm seeing that correctly, or 250. I can't see from my angle here. 248 feet for the takeoff for Todd Hendricks. Now, for those of you not familiar, you hear that airplane making a lot of noise. The 180 series, 180s, 182s, and especially the 185s, which are the tail wheels, that noise you hear isn't actually the engine making that noise. It's the tips of the prop just creeping up and breaking the sound barrier. So that loud, high pitch you hear is the prop turning, not the actual exhaust of the motor. And here comes Don Mickey in for his first landing of the day since we restarted due to weather. Creeping it in, adding power, taking it out. He's going to have to add it one more time and come up short. Oh! Just barely came up short. So this restart didn't help him. I'm sure he was the one that went and cried to the judges about it. He told me he was going to go do that. It worked, but it didn't work out for him. And Todd Hendricks coming into view. In his 1967 Cessna 182 Juliet with the Ren mods and short as well. And as I said before, Todd Hendricks has many airplanes to choose from to fly in his personal collection. I asked him why he chose this one over much more capable aircraft. And he said that he hasn't mastered this airplane and the other ones he has, and he wants to give this one a chance. I'm glad he did, because it's certainly a unique aircraft. You don't get to see these Ren mods. That canard on the nose is not common in a 182. The way those stole fences work up on the top when they move as he turns his ailerons, you might be able to see that if he wiggles them. Very unique. And the only person in the field that carries a passenger for ballast. He carries a passenger because it's the only way he can get enough weight on the front so that he can lift the nose when the elevator, kind of try and cancel out that nose elevator, known as a canard. Don Mickey on the power for his second official run. He had 223 last time, and this time looks like it's going to be somewhere around the 201 mark, 202. 257. I was looking at the wrong judge. 257. So his first run did not count. The reason for that is you can have a good takeoff and you can have a good landing, but they have to be in the same run. So if you have a DQ or you come up short on one, it cancels the whole thing. So both of them have DQ'd. So everything's even right now. You'll see a variety of different tires on these aircraft. Don Mickey's comes in at 8.5 by 6. He doesn't use the bigger tires. The bigger tires definitely slow you down in flight. But what they do is they offer you some safety with the bigger tires in case something goes wrong or you hit a rock that you didn't see. Helps roll over those things. So you'll see a variety of different size tires today. We saw a couple buried yesterday in squirrel holes. These ground squirrels out here are something else. Here he comes in on final. Don Mickey. Looking good. Nice. He's going to be happy with that. We are not seeing Todd in the pattern at the moment. Todd may have departed the pattern. Still don't have a visual on Todd. Oh, Todd has quit. Okay, so Todd is not flying. I see him now parked over in the parking lot. Looks like Todd is having an issue with his nose wheel, having a little less air in it than he would like, so rather than push it, he just went ahead and parked it. Wise choice. So Don Mickey, by default, which seems to be the only way he can win anything with the Uncle Harvey Short Flying Circus, is about to kill it on the West Coast. What was that number? Nobody cares. Looks like he's going to win. His biggest competitor, Warren G. from Florida, can't make it because of some sort of job or something he's always talking about that he's got to work. At least Andrew Patry doesn't show up because of weather. It's a legitimate reason. Don Mickey on the downwind of his parade lap. I'm just kidding. Don Mickey is a super capable pilot. Doing a great job in this business. He's just got stiff competition in this group. Coming in a short base because he's all alone. All right, Don. Don't embarrass yourself by scratching now. Coming in, flaps down on the power again. And he is cutting it close. There's the power. And that would have been really embarrassing because I would not have let that go. Outstanding. Good job. That is a beautiful plane. So sometimes you see these planes that are polished aluminum and you might ask, why would anybody do that? Well, it's really pretty. It is pretty. It's lighter. You know, the weight of paint adds quite a few pounds to an aircraft. The disadvantages is the maintenance. Anytime you polish an airplane like this, you've got to spend about 30 to 45 minutes picking one panel on the airplane every single time you go fly to repolish because the aluminum just kind of tarnishes. The oxide layer it gets on there. Alrighty, so we're going to go to a commercial here while we wait on Dawn to taxi and move out our next group. So we'll see you back here in just a moment. And welcome back for the light touring class here, an inaugural event for SOCAL STOL, brought to you by Husky National STOL here in Tehachapi, California. We've got Jeff Abrams lining up in the light touring class in his 1965 Piper Cherokee 180C. They'll be warming their engines up. Behind him in the orange-ish Cessna, it's a 1973 Cessna 150, got Brian Weathers, number 405. You'll see that number in his back window there. Brian Weathers is originally from Asperia, California, and he is now a local. So the gentleman up on the line, Jeff Abrams, flew here all the way from Ocala, California. Ocala, Florida. And Brian Weathers is from California, right here in Tehachapi now. And the next guy behind him, number 450, you'll see that in the back window, is J.P. Odell. He's flying a 1966 172 Skyhawk. And these second two, actually all three of these aircraft are airplanes that you'd see at a rental location at a school. All training aircraft, all proven reliable. And J.P. Odell's out of Salinas, California. All right, we've got Jeff Abrams taking the line. This Jeff Abrams has flown for 3 different airlines, with UPS being his final 25 years as a professional pilot, and he's now retired and having fun flying. Look at him lean forward to get the weight on the nose, and then he'll swing back. You don't see a lot of low wings, although the low-wing aircraft are certainly capable of this. They're generally not what's used in the backcountry, and the reason for that is their wings being so low can run into bushes and things of that nature. Now we have Brian Weathers taking the line in his 73 Cessna 150 commuter. Brian Weathers' day job is an air traffic controller for the FAA. He's been controlling for 12 years. He's got these bush wheels going on. It's a modification of this big fat tire on the front, which is not normal in a Cessna 150. But it certainly helps with the bumps on the nose gear of those aircraft because they're quite delicate. And here comes JP Odell in the 66 Cessna 172 Skyhawk. This is his first competition, JP's. Currently lives in Tehachapi, working as an engineer in the aerospace industry in Mojave, California. He's been flying since he could reach the rudder pedals. Nose up. And the mains are up. So on these nose wheel or tricycle aircraft, sometimes you'll see the tail hit the ground. And that is a technique that some guys have actually developed, a little skid plate on the bottom where they slam the tail into the ground. Looks like Warren Gravelbar, or just G, is watching us online. Thank you for your comments. We appreciate it. He is one of our fierce competitors in the heavy touring class out there in Florida. He comes everywhere to every event except Tehachapi. Guess he wanted to hand this one to Don. And here comes Jeff. Nice landing. You can watch the suspension work on these wheels. Looks like a jackhammer. So Jeff's been flying for about 57 years. He holds an airline transport pilot certificate, numerous type ratings for several different jet aircraft, and also a licensed helicopter pilot. He's received the Wright Brothers Master Pilot Award and is qualified as a flight instructor for over 5 decades. Super accomplished pilot right there. Waiting for Brian Weathers. Here he comes on final in his 73 Cessna 150. He's got 40 degrees of electric flaps on those wings. So when he touches down, oftentimes pilots will retract those wings quickly to set the weight of the airplane on the ground to brake harder. He does not have that option because as electric flaps, it takes about 9 seconds for those flaps to retract. And skidding to a stop at about 180 feet. Waiting on the official number on that. Still waiting on the number, watching JP come in his 172 and scratch. We call it a scratch when they touch before that line. We still encourage the pilots to stop on heading at the end of it. At the end of the year, they give a most consistent award. Sometimes at each individual event, they give a most consistent award. And so they encourage them to stop to be at the same place each time. Alrighty. Now, we just have one of our air traffic controllers, which scare me. Retired?
Yeah.
So you're not an air traffic controller?
Former. I'm recovering.
Okay, now your mic is on. There
I'm
we go.
recovering air traffic
You're
controller.
recovering air traffic controller. So when you're a Marine, you're still a Marine.
I was Air Force.
Well, if you were a Marine, you'd still be a Marine. So you're still air traffic controller. Like
Yes.
when you're flying, you have no problem keying that mic up and talking, right?
I'm not a pilot.
You're not a pilot?
No.
You ever ride with pilots?
Yes.
Would you still key up that mic?
Yes.
You're really making this tough for me. Coming from where you come, we don't talk to towers where we're in Idaho. We have one in Boise, and I don't know, maybe there's some up there in the north, but none of us talk to towers because we're afraid. Because they're mean.
It's a tiger in a cage.
It is.
It is.
It is, and we don't know what to feed that tiger, so we just don't do it. Here comes Jeff Abrams taking off. Let me give you some room. You got to scoot on in here. I'm not sure where this camera sits here for you.
Jeff was an instant favorite when he showed up in Louisiana last year.
He was. What an awesome guy.
Great story.
Great story. His bio is just so impressive. I'll get back to that in just a second. We've got Brian Weathers taking the line, who's now actually, he is in the lead at 499. He's actually, I didn't show a takeoff for Jeff Abrams on the first one, but his total is 306. Well, actually, for takeoff number 2, so we'll see where that's at. Here goes Brian Weathers in his 73-150. Bouncing his way up at around the 330-ish. We'll see where that number ends up coming up as.
Next, we have JP Odell.
You got a nice voice for radio. This is awesome.
I have a face for radio, too.
I don't think I got the face for radio. You're really
True.
You're actually doing this. You're actually doing this. Thank you.
Salinas, California. Here we go.
One of our local guys in his 66 Cessna 172 Skyhawk. That nose up, that tail touching the ground. They got to stay in the air.
Looks good.
Does look good. So as a safety precaution, you'll see these guys hugging the ground for a while. What we're asking them to do is gain airspeed before they pull up. That way we don't have any incidents.
They hit a real good gust of wind when they start that crosswind.
They sure do. We had some lenticular clouds off in the distance. We still have them out behind us to the northeast, and those indicate some really high winds up at that altitude when you have clouds like that. We're not at that altitude, so we don't got to worry about it, but we definitely got some winds coming on around here. Here comes Jeff Abrams.
And his wheel pans make it exciting.
Yes. Look at those things vibrate. What I don't understand is, do you hear that sound that sounds like a car screeching on the ground on the street? That doesn't even make sense. There's no pavement out there.
I think that's the new brakes he'll need.
It's either the brakes or he's got a cartoon playing in a speaker over there. He is wearing a Tom and Jerry sweatshirt right now. He came here from Florida, coming to California thinking it's going to be warm. Didn't have anything, so he just went to the closest store and bought whatever they had as far as sweatshirt, and it was a yellow Tom and Jerry sweatshirt.
And his own brand now is Piperzilla.
Piperzilla. I did see him wearing that shirt yesterday.
Yes.
That's right.
He's a star. I want to say thank you to Tehachapi for having us out here. This is wonderful.
Absolutely.
It was
Thank you very
warmer in
much.
Alaska last month.
It was, yes, yes. Here comes Brian Weathers. Now these steady winds don't bother the aircraft at all, as long as there's not gusts. Looks like he gave up about 51 feet. And when he comes to a complete stop, he'll be measured from that point right there all the way back to the line. So when I say giving up 51 feet, he could have landed 51 feet shorter and gotten 51 feet taken off his overall distance. However, he didn't scratch. It looks like he's still being beat by Jeff Abrams in his 65 Piper Cherokee. He's doing a great job in the light touring class. Here comes JP Odell from Salinas in his 172. Nice. He only gave up about 30 feet. Not too bad. And the wind is from 310 degrees at 12
knots.
knots.
Not miles per hour.
Not miles per hour. So it'll be a little slower.
Mm-hmm.
1.1 is what you do the math on that, right?
Something like that, yeah.
There's a 1.1 in there somewhere.
Yeah.
For those people who have calculators.
Kind of similar to the Fahrenheit to Celsius thing.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
That's like a 1.2 plus a 32
Plus
or something.
32?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need to go metric. All right, Jeff Abrams taxiing by.
Well, gasoline is much cheaper metrically.
Let's do it that way.
It's
then.
only $3 a liter.
That's right. If you charge by go by the kilometer, then it would be good. The pilots love to see you guys wave. Anytime they come by, they can often hear you yelling. No need to hold back.
The money round.
Here it comes. Yep. You know, it looks like Brian Weathers might be leading at 499 on his first run. Total combined. There goes Jeff. See what that number is. He's staying fairly consistent.
Yes.
Within 50 feet or so.
His first 3 practice landings in Louisiana, he never scratched.
Really?
He was on the line, closer than anybody.
Really? Outstanding. Outstanding. I guess that's what 1,000,000 hours of flying gets you. Here comes our air traffic controller, Brian Weathers. He's got a bush wheel on the front of that tire, which isn't normal.
He's a hometown Tehachapi kid, working in Bakersfield.
He is originally from Hesperia, now moving to Tehachapi.
Army veteran, knows how to control helicopters very well.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Outstanding. He didn't put that in his bio. Apparently everything's a secret.
Well, I'm ratting him out then. he did service overseas. He did great work for us.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you for anybody in the audience who's served us as well. JP lifting off. So you'll see the wheels bounce back and forth. They're measured off the last wheel touching the ground. Sometimes you'll be focused on one wheel thinking they took off a lot shorter than they did because the judges are looking for the opposite wheel to take off as well. Let's see. Here comes Jeff Abrams, number 65, the 65 Cherokee 180. Listen to that cartoon braking. That is hilarious.
Acme Brake Company.
That's exactly what it should be. I don't get the stuff you put up on the screen. Yeah. Okay. He might have And if my prediction is anywhere close, Brian should be in the crosswind. Here he is, turning final now. We have an additional aircraft in the pattern. Looks like he's going to land parallel on the paved runway, if I'm seeing that correctly.
Yep, we keep the airport open and functioning.
Little bit high, but he got it down in about 25 feet. That's fantastic. So if he can get it stopped, this might be his best run yet. So far, he's leading at 499. Let's see what this one comes out at. He's had 2 takeoffs at 320 feet. And his middle takeoff was 329, so very consistent on his takeoffs for Brian Weathers in the 150. Here comes JP Odell in the 172 Skyhawk. Very nice. He didn't give up too much there, maybe 30, 32 feet. And stopping somewhere around that 327-ish mark. So Brian Weathers was not able to break his first record there on his first run, which was 499 feet, but that still has him in the lead. Looks like he's going to take it for the light sport class with Jeff Abrams in second at 558 feet. And JP Odell at 591 feet to wrap up third place.
Excellent round. Excellent round.
You know, Brian Weathers is a photographer as well. Did you know that?
I did not know that part.
So yeah, so he actually used some of his photos in Flying Magazine, and so got him published here recently in a couple of different articles. So that's awesome. So Brian Weathers also a really diverse guy doing a lot of different things.
Oh, and his mustache is off the hook.
It really is. It really is.
It's a mustache for television.
I want to take a picture of that and send it to Warren G. And let him know that that's a real mustache. But Warren's working on it.
Yeah, he could be copyright infringed with that.
He could be. It is nice. Mm-hmm. It is very nice. We need to get a picture up of that. Here comes Sean Francis to start the Bush class. He was flying a 2022 Aviat Husky A1C. He sold that one. He is a dealer for Aviat. And now he's flying a 2018 Aviat. And I understand that he might have just sold this one as well. And since it's my story, it's exactly what happened. So he's flying someone else's airplane right now. All right, so Sean's going to sit here near the line and warm up, and we are going to go to a commercial. While he does that, we'll see you back here in just a moment.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good.
Let's meet up at the compound group up.
At 10-4. Yeah, for sure, dog. Good, little driver, straight on through.
Welcome back to the Husky National Stoll here in Tehachapi, California.
Yes, and the weather seems to be burning off just like the locals said it would, because they know best.
They do.
And we're still warming up for Sean Francis on the line in his Aviat Husky.
And he sells those things all over the country, coast to coast. He can sell.
He
and
does.
buy. He told me he just got a 185, Cessna 185 in on trade.
Nice.
And he moves a lot of planes.
Yeah, those have not gotten cheap, those Cessna 185s. They are expensive.
They are. And I don't think any planes have gotten cheap.
No, not as of late.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking about that a lot. Like, wow, what an investment.
Yeah, a Cessna 150 has gone up by almost double lately.
That's incredible.
Still affordable, still in the $40,000 range, but they used to be around 20 or less.
Right.
And so yeah, they are definitely they have gone up. What a great little airplane.
They are. They're great little airplanes. I think I paid $16,000 for my first plane. It was an old Mooney with duct tape on the windows.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
Nice.
And,
Nice.
and
Speed tape.
It looked a little rough.
This looks like a 185 straight tail coming in now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Flying on the paved runway.
On the paved,
not part of the competition.
Yeah.
Right next to our competition runway. So we're flying a right-hand pattern to keep away from the local traffic, which is a left-hand pattern.
Except for yesterday, we had one person who kind of missed the brief. And
she missed the briefing, and that's what happens.
That's okay. We have enough air traffic controllers here and air bosses that are talking to him to make sure everything still stays okay.
There goes Sean. Looked like 130 feet.
Much shorter than what we've been seeing. That's impressive.
That is.
Looks like maybe a 180, huh?
I didn't get a good look from the front there.
Yeah, well, since you didn't get a good look, it's a 180.
It's a 180. That's a nice 180.
I didn't see the little shark teeth on the sides or the little cow flap. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's okay. They're all different.
They are. Looks like Sean's going to be flying himself right now. Let's see anybody else.
What's up with that?
Yeah, what is up with that? So we had... All right, looks like Sean Francis will be flying by himself here because we moved his competitor into the experimental class. Oh, we're now able to see some of the comments on social media for the first time. John Jughead Council. While I miss seeing the regular round tail 170s competing, it's neat to see some newcomers and other aircraft types giving it a go. And that's awesome. Thank you, Jughead, as he's known. He's got an interesting story as well, but we'll wait for him to get on the radio at some of our other events and tell that story. It's fantastic.
He's got some good experience on the radio. He's
does.
often on the radio.
He does.
And he does an amazing job.
He does. Sean Mulligan, that name certainly looks familiar.
Who else? Matthew Peterson.
Matthew Peterson.
Our local man from Swamp Stoll.
Swamp Stoll started Swamp Stoll, one of our other events in Louisiana, and does a lot of work with that.
And, look at that. Warren Gravel Bar.
Jibalitalar.
This guy is funny.
This guy, he's talking about you. Funny looking.
He's what he meant to say.
He's from South Africa.
He is.
He can't the whole English thing.
And when you look like Warren, it's easy to just write everyone else off as funny looking.
That's right. Here comes Sean, and he is a beautiful scratch.
A beautiful scratch.
He did it really nicely.
That's the best scratch of the day. I would say.
That looked really nice.
It was good. It was a good one.
Short landing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good to see some of the other competitors that we're familiar with from some of the other competitions. Watching us and commenting online and participating, even though they're not physically here.
Sure, yeah. A lot of the comments are from other competitors from this event, from National Stoll, who go to a lot of the different events across the nation, just weren't able to make it here for various reasons. I can't make them all. National Stoll is growing like crazy, and at the end of the year, when they go for the national championship, they allow you to miss a certain amount and still
Right.
be able to qualify for the championship.
Exactly. And why would you come to the high elevation one when you can compete at the sea level ones?
Right. That's right. That's right. This is a little bit tougher one.
No, I'm kidding. It's great. It's great conditions, actually. I know we were concerned about the weather, but so far it's been great. The wind's right down the runway, clear skies.
Being right down the runway sure makes a difference. I know there's a lot of pilots out there in the stands as well, saying the same thing. Like, this isn't so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't get too strong.
And what do we got for time now? I used to have a phone here. 8:50. Yeah, we're still expecting that wind to pop up here in a couple more hours.
Right.
Or one more hour maybe.
Yeah, I know some of the other competitors, like I talked about yesterday, are watching as well. I'm continuing to get text messages from Andrew Patry, as well as Kevin Johnson. Do you know Kevin Johnson?
I think I've met Kevin Johnson, but I'm trying to place a face.
Yeah, he flies a Cub.
A Cub.
What a great guy and what a great pilot.
I probably don't know him. If they fly a Cub, it's just a different tax bracket. I don't really know.
Tax bracket.
Yeah, I don't know.
He actually lives in West Texas, in Lubbock area. He's a farrier, meaning he puts shoes on horses for a living.
Okay, that could go a lot of ways.
Flies around in that Cub to ranches all over West Texas, eastern New Mexico.
Nice.
And he's an amazing pilot. He flies the heck out of that Cub.
Outstanding.
He's actually working on a new project now he'll have ready next spring, I believe, to blow everyone away, apparently.
And what is that one? What is that one, you think?
I think it's a Cub of some sort. I don't know. Maybe he'll text me and tell me exactly what it is. But and he's another one, a lot like Warren. This should have probably gone into modeling instead of whatever else they're doing.
Right. Not that we're recognizing that. First and foremost.
No, I recognize it. I can appreciate it without crossing any lines.
Right.
And I think Kevin should probably be a Carhartt model.
Oh, really? One of those, the ruggeds, huh?
Rugged, but really handsome man.
I think our line judge there should probably be a Carhartt model as well. He's a country music singer. A lot of we have a lot of artists. I was noticing. Now, what do you play?
I play. I haven't played in a while, but I played guitar, of course, like all of us do, right?
When you say of
guitar,
course,
right? Everyone plays guitar a little bit.
No, I don't know that. Nobody I know plays guitar.
Did a little singing as well.
Yeah.
Because no one else wanted to.
Oh, really? Like me announcing?
Kind of exactly like both of us being here.
Yeah. Was bullied into it by Anitra. Did she do that to you and make you sing?
They just said, "Go help Josh. He's in desperate need.
He needs the help,
and
for sure."
I said, "Well, I don't know that I'm your man." And they said, "Well, somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. That's right."
Yeah.
That is it. So you play the guitar?
I play the guitar, sang because no one else wanted to.
Yeah.
And
what type of music?
It evolved throughout. When I was younger, I kind of played in sort of alternative kind of punk bands, alternative bands, and then moved into sort of a countryish sort of thing. We did a bunch of punk guys got together and did sort of a tribute band to truck driving music.
Well, I'd love to hear your
70s.
demo.
It was pretty goofy stuff. A lot of fun though.
Here comes Sean Francis on final.
Nice.
Very nice. Somewhere right around that 25 mark. That's great. He flies that plane really well, really stable. It's not bouncing. Of course, it's a heavier plane than some of the light sports.
Yeah.
But boy, he really handles that well.
Well, and he was talking about he's been flying his whole life. We were talking about his experiences, and he grew up flying. There was a plane parked in front of his house all the time growing up on the farm there, and his dad taught him to fly when he was very young. And he said he remembers sitting on 2 phone books, from Dallas-Fort Worth area phone books.
Yeah.
And learning to fly.
That's awesome. And it was that farm there in Oklahoma where he's from?
I honestly don't know where the farm was. I don't remember our conversation about that.
All right, since you don't know, his farm is from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yep. That's the new story.
It's
his family is over there in some other state, really upset right now.
Right, and
but they're not here to correct us.
His Oklahoma farm, 5,000 acres.
5,000 acres.
It was he comes from some means.
Nice.
And,
nice. A lot of John Deeres.
A lot of fleets.
Yeah.
Of John Deeres.
What do they grow over there?
Anything, whatever's selling for the highest price right now.
That's true. They do alternate corn and alfalfa. I think it's corn right now, isn't it?
Is it corn?
It might be for fuels and whatnot.
I wish I knew.
Yeah, I don't know. I just grow pasture grass for the goats.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You have goats?
I got goats.
Goat is delicious.
Goats, kangaroos. Yeah, tell my wife that. She'd love to hear that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Little bounce there,
Yeah.
but still good.
Yeah, we got a lot of different animals on our farm over there.
Really?
Jonas Marcinko and his beautiful lady came and stayed one night out there and filmed some of the animals out there. And
Really?
It's just a lot of fun.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
we have like a zoo or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, well, I say that.
And where is that?
That's in Marsing, Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up by Boise, Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah,
Really pretty area.
it is. It is a lot of farmland. Yeah. All right, we've just been informed that Mr. Longobardo,
Anthony Longobardo,
will
right
not be
there.
competing there in the experimental class. And he was flying the Bushwagon Stretched Pacer from
All right.
Kernville. Yeah, they're going to get out of here here pretty quick. All right, the wind is now 13, gusting 16 knots. Not too bad, a 3-knot gust, not a big deal. It looks actually gentler than it has been, and it is still right down the number, so looking good.
I think it looks like Josh got called by nature. He's heading towards the little plastic blue buildings in the back. And talking about that, it must be a California thing. I had to use the porta potty yesterday, and it was great. There was a sticker on the back of the lifted toilet seat that said, "Do not drink the water." And I don't believe it was a joke. It probably should have been. But yeah, California, welcome. All right, Sean's in for, I believe, his third. And he just kept going. All right, looks like we got our next group coming out. Go ahead.
When it's time to recover and paint your fabric-covered aircraft, look no further than AirTech Coatings. Since 1982, our FAA-approved system provides you with a shiny, durable, easy-to-apply product. The AirTech system has fewer steps than any other product on the market today, saving you both time and money. While using cutting-edge technology, we offer a wide range of products. Whether it's for work, play, antique, or aerobatic, we have you covered. Remember, we make paint fly.
And welcome back to the 2022 SOCAL STOL from Husky National STOL here in Tehachapi, California. I'm here with Jeff Abrams. We'll get your mic on and we'll chat with you. as we wait for the engines to warm up here for the next class. So Jeff, I got sent your resume here a little bit ago, like about a week ago.
All right.
They knew that I was going to be struggling announcing, and they're like, this guy needs all the help he can get. So they sent it to me, and I just could not believe the things that I read. This is impressive.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, this, my goodness. Yeah, flown for 3 different airlines.
Right.
25 years as being with UPS
That's
alone.
right. Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Boxes don't complain, right?
They don't.
Is that what they say?
They don't.
All right.
They're easy to work with.
Yeah, and now you're retired. How long have you been retired?
About 10 years almost.
10 years. And so what
Yep.
do you do with your time now?
Get older and have a lot of fun doing nothing.
Nice. Well, I see you at different STOL events, so you must be doing something.
Yeah, this is actually my 4th event now with National STOL, and just having a real good time. Came all the way from Central Florida, Ocala, Florida. Traveled about 2,000 nautical miles to get here. Took about 10 days. Stopped to visit family, Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, a bunch of really nice scenery and neat places to visit.
That is
Great
awesome.
trip.
That is a very long flight.
It sure is.
A little plane like that.
Yeah.
And
Takes a while.
Yeah, you are the furthest, and you got to fly over those parks. That's amazing.
Sure did. Monument Valley was probably the highlight. We're sightseeing almost eye level with.
Right? Outstanding.
You bet.
Outstanding.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking for Tyler Younger's profile here. It's hiding from me. As he rolls off on his first attempt. Oh, not too bad. Just over 150 feet.
Looked real good.
I know I got his in here somewhere.
Uh-huh.
There we are. He calls it it's Team Spartan Pacer and a 57 Piper Pacer. And now this airplane here is being shared by this is Catherine in it right now. She is a flight instructor at the Sling Academy and at DPE. And we were talking about yesterday, I don't know if you heard, we don't know if the Sling Academy knows that she's borrowing this plane and competing in it or not.
I missed that part yesterday.
Yeah, we're pretty sure her and her boyfriend stole that from the Academy or are borrowing it there and Bonnie and Clyding it into a STOL competition.
She seems to be flying it real well.
She is, and somehow it seems like her man, who's clearly heavier than her, was getting shorter takeoffs than her yesterday.
Is that right?
Definitely. He was cutting it down pretty significantly. Yeah. Here he's coming up here. Let's see which one it is. So this is a sling aircraft, right? You got there? All right. Yeah, we'll get you on here in just a little bit and check it out. It's got a Rotex 912, 100 horse. Yeah. That is awesome. So this is the first competition for both of them that'll be flying it. So she's going to fly first, so they can share the plane. They're both going to go in different classes or different times or different groups anyway, so that they can switch back out again. And I think I just figured it out because she always goes first, and then
Ladies first.
She uses up all the fuel, and then he gets in it and beats her because the
Much
plane's
lighter.
That's the trick.
He
That
gets
must be
the advantage.
That's what must be what's happening here. That is it. So fantastic. So are you then heading back to Ocala today?
Yep, we're going to try to get as far as we can. We got good tailwinds to at least as far as Texas, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Here comes Tyler. Nice. Made it within the 50 feet. I definitely love to chat with you in a bit. A little bit. All right, not too bad. Wait for the score. It's 381 total with a landing of 210 feet in that 1957
that's really good.
Piper Pacer. Those look so much better than a Tri-Pacer, don't
Yes, they sure do.
They do.
sure
They look
do.
like
I
a
the
completely
short-wing
different
Pipers.
plane. Like when you take a 150 Cessna 150 and you convert it to a tail dragger, it just
It
looks
looks
cool.
better,
It
lot
looks
better.
so much better. That is a great looking plane.
I also own a Piper Clip Wing Cup myself, so when they put the extra wheel in the back, it just looks correct to me.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
It does look good. So Tyler Younger, born and raised in Bakersfield. He's been flying since 2013, or at least completed his training. And Catherine is floating it in her Sling 2 aircraft, belonging to the Sling Academy, which I believe is out of Torrance. I don't know if the management of the Sling Academy has got the word yet that she's flying this thing in competition. How cool would it be? Go rent a plane and then go compete in it? Actually, not even rent it, just steal it.
Just take it away.
Yeah.
That
We're going to borrow it for 2 days. Trying to borrow a plane out of LA for 2 days and the schedules that they have has got to be tough.
Oh, yeah. I heard that thing flies 130, 140 hours a month at the school.
Yeah. That thing is really needed right now at the school. There's all these students
Probably is.
wondering where it's at right now.
Probably
and
are.
She borrowed it to take it to Tehachapi for a STOL competition.
Yep.
That suspension looks kind of stiff, like it wasn't really
It does,
meant
doesn't
to
it?
the off-airport kind of stuff as much. But it looks like a solid airplane.
Yep.
And I understand they're made in South Africa.
I'm not too familiar with the product.
I know there's schools, a lot of schools have started using them.
They are popular now.
Yeah, they do have a tailwheel version. That was what I would say they should have brought here. 225-ish feet. Let's see what they got here. They have not listed that official takeoff yet.
Okay.
As Catherine takes the line, she's been good to go. Hand it off to the air boss. Here she goes. Not too bad.
Not bad at all.
Okay. She's giving her partner a run for his money.
These conditions are actually pretty good today for a STOL event.
They sure are. Feel pretty good for you and your plane?
Yes, it sure did. It flew better here at high elevation than it did down at sea level.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is outstanding. That wind helps, huh?
The wind really helps, and the cool temperatures give you a little bit more kick on takeoff than you were expecting, even though you're up high.
Right.
It all added up to really good numbers for me.
That is awesome. So I like what she's doing. You see her climb out. She's continuing to climb out, and she's still not turning. She knows that she's much faster than the plane in front of her, so for spacing, she's just waiting, extending her, her downwind. And
playing it very smart.
Yep. Taking a wider pattern, because she'll close on him pretty quick. And I understand she's a DPE.
That's great.
Which is a designated pilot examiner. Those are the ones who give pilots their tests in order for them to become pilots.
That's all
They're
correct.
the last roadblock for somebody getting their license.
Yep.
That's what I understand.
That's quite an accomplishment.
What I'm being told could be totally wrong. She might be a student. But the thing is, so that I asked, I don't have a pilot biography, so today she's a DPE. All right, yeah.
At least on the
and today James is one of her students here today.
All right.
Next time they're going to say, I really should have filled out that pilot biography because those announcers are crazy.
It's amazing. I've been flying for many years, and I got kids I've taught how to fly my own kids, and they fly better than I do.
Right. I have met some people like that. The Dory family. I hear that from Pops Dory talking about Joe Dory, his son, just an amazing pilot. Of course, everybody talks about him who knows him as an amazing pilot. And he also flies a little Piper, some modified, I don't know what that thing is. It's like a Pacer with cub wings or something to that effect. I always get them mixed up. I get confused on these guys because they're swapping wings back and forth.
Yeah, some of them do that.
All right. So Tyler looks like he is getting a 392 total on that with a 199-foot landing, 193-foot takeoff. How's that for being consistent?
That's really good.
I need a 200-foot runway with no trees.
No trees, at least for today.
Yeah, at 4,000 feet with a wind.
Yep.
That's right. So you have flown some famous people. I was looking on your bio, and I've been around, as a paramedic working in the industry, movie industry here and there. Ran into quite a few myself, but one that really stuck out for me and other people that I talked to was the gentleman who passed away on your plane when you were flying from.
That's
I looked it up at Acapulco.
Acapulco,
to
Mexico.
Houston?
Yeah.
To Houston, okay.
I refer to him as Uncle Howard.
Uncle Howard.
The real name is Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes.
Used to be the richest man in the world at that point in time, but he forgot to put me in his will.
He did, darn it.
Yeah.
Darn it. 280 feet or so there for Catherine. We'll see what that final comes up at. So what was the selection process, or how did that come to be that you flew Howard Hughes on his last flight, which I think is the coolest thing ever, because for him to be able to pass away in an aircraft, I think is probably how he would like it.
Well, it was a random selection.
Was it?
The flight originated at 3 in the morning, and I was kind of one of the junior personnel at the company. And nobody else wanted to go to work at 3 in the morning, so I got the job, and off we went. We picked him up, flew him to Houston. He supposedly passed away on the last leg of the flight. I'm not really sure. I wasn't in the back to observe it, but that's what they told us, and I was there.
How about that? That is amazing. You know, I was a flight paramedic with local Mercy Air here in Southern California area for a number of years, and you're absolutely right. The low man in the totem pole gets the 3 o'clock calls because nobody else wants them. They don't know what they're getting. They're like, I don't care who it is. I don't want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly right.
Look at that, 200-ish.
Wow.
Looks like he's walking closer to 200, maybe like 195, 194.
Doing real well in
193 is the official number there for Tyler Younger.
Excellent.
Wow, he is really consistent.
He's got it figured out.
All right, here comes Catherine.
Well, she jumped off the ground that time.
She sure did.
Got that one good.
There's so much room in that cockpit when it's just her in there. She looks like a bobblehead in an RC airplane moving around as that thing bounces around. That looks like I'd love to see inside of it. It looks bigger than, say, a Lance Air or something like that with the same sort of canopy.
Yeah.
James gets in it and fills up the cockpit a little bit more. You know, once she runs it all out of fuel, and he can get in and fly it at shorter distances. What teamwork is that?
Well, speaking of fuel, I may need to go purchase some here so we can head eastbound and down.
That's right. You're going to have to get over there, over to the fuel pumps, and you're off to Ocala today. You got a tailwind right now. How awesome is that?
Yeah,
that's going to be fantastic.
I'm hoping it's a real good one.
All right. Well, I will be waving you off as you do that. And taking
I may
off.
Excuse myself then, but
absolutely
enjoyed visiting with you.
Thank you so much. A pleasure speaking with you. I'm sure you got fans out there watching you. We appreciate it as well. So.
Well,
fantastic.
It's been fun and great being here. You guys put on a wonderful program.
Thank you, and thanks for being a part of it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome. Have a safe flight home.
Okay, bye-bye.
All righty. James, are you available? We'll get James up here. James is the one sharing the aircraft with Catherine, the sling, so we can learn some stuff about it as Tyler Younger approaches and into a scratch. Keeping it straight, though, so that's awesome. So, James, as much as I hate to ask and find out the truth, about your airplane that you guys are flying, because I think my story's better. My version is better. Probably
the stolen version
of what the truth is. Yeah. Tell me about what's going on with this Sling 2. You guys are from the Sling Academy?
I'm actually not. Catherine is.
So you are the student then?
Well, you can go ahead and call me the student. That works fine.
She's going to love that, right?
But yeah, I do a little teaching the Sling from time to time. So it's a great trainer. It actually surprised me.
Yeah.
I've flown a lot of traditional airplanes for a few decades, and when I got into light sport, I heard all kinds of different things. But it's a great trainer. It's bigger and a lot better visibility than a lot of the traditional airplanes, and it's lighter, and that's how it can actually kind of survive in a STOL contest against planes that are more purpose-built.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
The
now,
lightweight's kind of a cool thing.
Is it true that Sling Academy is based out of Torrance Airport?
Yeah, they're in Torrance.
Okay. So I have an aircraft based out of Torrance Airport myself.
Cool.
Myself. So
awesome.
We had a gentleman here that trained out of there, one of our partners in the plane there, and so we got to see him. And if I'm not mistaken, you used to have a tail wheel there. Is that right?
They
little short.
They have they had a sling tail dragger that they sold. They now have a super decathlon, so they have a tailwheel airplane, but not a sling.
But still doing that training though.
Yeah, they're doing a little bit of tailwheel work.
Can someone come in off the street and get lessons from you, or do you have to belong to a program?
So they take both, actually. And that's one of the things that's interesting. I think they have two different websites, but there's an academy where they have taken people that really want to be future airline pilots and put them through sort of a rapid program, all the way up to CFI.
Okay.
And then they have I guess it's more of like a club, and you can just take traditional flight lessons in those airplanes and pay per hour or whatever you want to do, the way you would do at any other flight school.
Awesome. And that's so important here, because trying to find a tailwheel for training is not easy. And I know you guys are located in Torrance with a super decathlon, so if anybody's looking to get tailwheel training to come out here and do this or start flying tailwheels, that would be a great option, because they're harder and harder to find. They're harder to insure. And that is awesome that you have one. A lot of people don't have them. There's so many new flight instructors that aren't comfortable with tailwheels, and they don't want to send them out with a student because they never really got any time themselves. I can understand that. So that is pretty awesome to have that option.
Yep. Now it's fun. It's a neat place over there. There's a lot. Obviously, learning to fly in the middle of Los Angeles it's busy airspace. So anybody that wants to learn there can fly probably any airspace in the world from there. So
I agree. So being that I fly in Idaho most of the time, when I do crest that San Bernardino Mountains and dive down into the LA basin there, going to Torrance or Hawthorne, one of those others, life changes right then. And so it's no longer you're out in the backcountry anymore, or just in the desert, because you cover like 800 miles of desert between there, over Death Valley and Baker and on the way there. And all of a sudden, it's like landing on another planet, and there's, 10 people on the frequency at a time trying to talk. Everybody's walking on each other. And there is just a lot going on and not coming from that environment. So I admire you guys learning in that environment. And,
I actually grew up on the East Coast and learned there, and then came out to the West Coast, and so I was busy on both sides. But
nice.
But it's beautiful country all in between. I mean, I encourage anybody that's listening, if you ever get a chance to buy an airplane or fly with a friend or whatever and go across the country, one of the best learning experiences you can ever do in an airplane.
That is awesome.
It was a lot of fun. And I don't think I'd do it in a sling at 100 knots. I think I'll take my airplane to do that.
Okay, so that answers one of the questions. So that is the speed that they do fly at about 100 knots.
So that airplane will do a little better than 100 knots cruise, if you want it to.
At what, like 7 gallons an hour-ish?
No, like probably 4.
Oh, really? That's fantastic. With those little Rotaxes, the 912, right?
And you can burn auto gas in it legally, 91 octane. In fact, we flew one of those out to... where is it? The one out on Route 66. The little dirt strip out there.
Baker?
No. Anyway, we flew it out there, landed at a gas station, actually pulled up and fueled it. We got some pictures.
Nice. So you can use fuel with ethanol in that aircraft?
It's 91 octane auto gas, as long as it's obviously you want to be careful where you source it from, but legally the engine. In fact, you can do if you use leaded fuel, you have to do more frequent oil changes on the Rotax.
So, that's right, I did hear that.
So with the auto gas, you can actually space out your oil changes longer because you don't have the buildup, the lead deposits.
Nice. All right, we have the light sport guys coming up here. We got Dustin Mosier in a Cessna 120, kind of the original one. So this light sport class here, have you been following along with the light sports, where these are all the airplanes that don't have flaps?
Yep.
So like the J3 Cubs, the Pipistrels, I understand, are going to fit in there. The Champs are going to fit in there. And there he goes.
A lot harder flying job to do in this type of situation without flaps. That's definitely some skill right there.
It is. You got you're going a lot faster on the ground, aren't you? Both on takeoff and landing, huh?
And without the drag on the landing, that's trickier too. And Dustin's an amazing pilot. I've watched him in the past doing some short field work, and it's pretty impressive what he can do in that thing.
He flies a Stearman. That's his Stearman over there, and that's impressive. So you fly that, you can probably fly anything, right?
Yeah. No, I've always been impressed watching him fly.
That is awesome. So here comes James O'Brien in his 56 Champ, with some bush wheels and some suspension, some VGs, some gap seals, a prop repitch, extended gear, lightweight accessory, tires, wheels, brakes, and a T3 tail wheel. He's making that thing work. I think he's got some mods on it.
Nice. I'm going to have to run and get set up in the airplane over there.
That sounds
But
good.
hey,
You're going to be
before I
flying
run-
in the next group.
Yeah, but before I run real quick, she did make right traffic yesterday.
She did make right traffic yesterday.
It was an RV that took off and went left.
Oh,
on the
was
other-
that
on the
we?
main
Oh,
runway.
it was an
Yeah.
RV that took
Yeah,
off
I
and
was
went
right.
left. Okay, so we were mistaken. Thank you
Yeah.
for correcting us. So
Yeah, no worries.
For all her students out there, it wasn't her. It was the announcer being terrible at that.
Oh, you're great. You're awesome. I really appreciate it.
Thank you
This
for
is
your
a
time.
great event. This has been a ton of fun. I'm glad
All
we
right, I
came out,
appreciate
so.
it, and I look forward to seeing you out there in the field.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right.
Take care.
Okay, so we're still waiting for Mr. Mosier to come around in his 47-120. So Dustin's got both a Stearman here and a 120. He's not flying the Stearman in the competition, but I don't know. It looks like it's kind of tucked away there. I don't know if he's going to be doing any demos later or not, but that would be cool. Here it comes floating in the 120 with no flaps here in the light sport class. All these planes have no flaps. That was a perfect landing. Perfect in location, both wheels at the same time, and he came to a stop in under 175 feet. That is fantastic. Let me look for this official distance here. 166 feet for a total of 519 feet. So it looks like he landed in probably a shorter distance than he took off in. That is awesome. Alrighty. Here comes James O'Brien in the 56 champ. So you can start with this, watching his rudder work. Look at that rudder at the tail of the airplane work. He's getting really slow, and that was a beautiful landing. These two guys are really going at it. 110-ish feet. I'll wait for the official on that, but that looked beautiful. Both of these guys, very skilled. It is turning out to be a beautiful day with a little bit of warming up with the sun. I know we're still expecting the winds to pick up a little bit more, but as long as they're not gusty, we are carrying on. The water on the field has really made a difference. It's so much better today than it was yesterday. For those of you who were here yesterday, you can certainly appreciate that. And Dustin on the roll. Dustin's last takeoff was not marked on my scale, but it certainly was longer than his landing, which was 166 feet. So it looks like the champ is at 337 feet right now. He's got a pretty good lead. His takeoff distance is significantly less. Awesome. So we got my co-host back.
Part-time co-host.
Part-time co-host. How'd that go for you?
The part-time thing?
The flying part.
The flying part was awesome. It was, you know, I'm no Steve Henry, but I did stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Then you stand a chance.
Right.
You really did stand a chance. So, you know, people are like, well, I can't, they think, you know, I can't beat Steve Henry. I've seen him scratch. He knows how to do that. He's always trying to push the edges of it.
You know, but he also knows how not to scratch.
He also knows, even when he's like, well, I'm going to land long, so I just get a score. Even that score is short.
I'm going to land long. I'm going to come in and touchdown 3 feet over the line.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, man. All right, here comes Dustin.
I like his numbers on his plane. Did you notice the?
I noted his actual tail numbers.
No, the number his number for the
120, the 120. Yeah, that is awesome. And I also noticed that a lot of other guys are doing that, and I never put that together. They're using the number of their
aircraft,
their race number.
Right. Is there also their aircraft number? Or
also
something?
the aircraft number, yes.
Yeah, my number is 53, and my aircraft is a 1953 Cessna.
And I think yours was the second one I noticed doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could have chosen other numbers, but it hit me, and I was like, oh,
I
wow,
like
that's
it.
super creative.
It's super creative.
Yeah, not
you
really.
know, if you have no talent
Exactly.
and you put all that together, you just really nailed it.
Yeah,
and I think,
yeah.
but it's easier to follow. It makes
It's
sense.
easy. It makes sense. It's logical.
Yep. At least if there's some way to remember your number.
Right.
You talk about Warren G's. Well, he's got a great story behind his number.
What's his story?
I'm not going to tell you his story because if he wanted it told, he should be here himself.
He should be here
There's
himself.
no rewarding those who don't show up.
It's not that far from Central Florida.
Can you tell I miss
to
him?
California.
I just miss him.
You do.
Yeah, and it's not that far from Florida.
No.
Florida's right next door.
Right.
Oh, that was close. That is going to go to the instant replay. I get 2 thumbs up here.
I'm going to give it a 98 feet.
Oh my goodness!
And
Let's
it's
see
2 thumbs up.
if, the instant replay. I know they're looking at that right now. Let's see what they come up with.
I don't think they need to. I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it good.
Well, I haven't been wrong yet, and I say that because I'm humble.
Right.
Again.
Obviously.
So let's see what they say.
Right.
It
96
is good.
feet.
It is good. Nice job. Nice call. 96. Holy moly, that was fantastic.
Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, these guys really kicked it in gear today.
They really did.
Yesterday at practice, they were doing great, but today they've stepped it up even.
They are doing way better today. You're absolutely right. And the winds aren't. They're about the same right now.
Yeah,
as they were
about the same
yesterday.
as they were yesterday.
That was a nice lift off. Right about the 300-foot mark. Probably 299.
Point.
3
inches.
Always
right.
3 inches.
Always 3 inches.
Always
That
trying to
extra.
add 3 inches.
Yeah.
And here we go with the tail up for number 56. James O'Brien. So he rotated that tail a little too early, which cost him a little bit extra time.
It's tempting to do that, you know. It's and I just got informed by the technical crew that my panel is appearing on the screen that I was talking about so lovingly earlier. My Dynon panel that I got done recently. Saving myself, I believe it was 37 pounds we took out just in the panel.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
You have that same picture on your phone. You can go through and kind of describe what you're seeing in there.
Yeah, it's got all the 7-inch display, 10-inch display, radios. I got all the stuff.
You got all the bells
no
and
autopilot though, and that's why I'm hoping Dynon is listening.
Right? Yeah, they should. I hope they are.
I would recommend Dynon to anyone and everyone.
Nice. That is awesome. I don't have any of that glass stuff, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, it's great, and my friend Fernie at New Mexico Aero Service, right there.
Also, Fernie the singer. Here comes a slip there in the 120. So because they don't have flaps, when they want to lose altitude quickly, you'll see these aircrafts pitch it sideways and dip a wing. We call that a slip. And that's how they lose altitude rather than using flaps. And that was so close.
Oh, scratch.
So close. Very, very close.
We should talk about some of the sponsors, maybe.
We really
now that
should.
I talked about Dynon, who's not a sponsor, and New Mexico Aero, who's not a sponsor.
Right. Well, this is the Husky Aviat aircraft. Where luxury aircraft and backcountry meet, you'll find an Aviat Husky. Many manufacturers claim to have a large mission profile, but only the Husky delivers. Meet America's favorite tail dragger, the Aviat Husky. Faster, stronger, more. And they sure have a great demo pilot here today when they're for the sales team.
Are you talking about Sean Francis?
I am talking about Sean. You know him? He's doing a great job.
He's amazing.
He really is. All right, James O'Brien. Look at that. Oh, there's a floater, but not bad. Got a little bounce. Boy, he gets
Slowed him
that tail
down a
high.
little bit there. Nice.
Right, not as good as his last run. I think after his last run, see, his total is 299. I don't know why he's flying anymore. He should just go home.
Right.
I don't know that he's going to beat that. I don't think he can beat that.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance, huh?
Yeah.
Saying there's a chance. Here he comes on the taxi. It is a nice looking plane.
It's beautiful.
Another one of our sponsors is McFarlane Aviation Products. With everything from nose to tail, McFarlane has kept general aviation community flying for over 50 years. They offer 35,000 products and more for hundreds of aircrafts, including MT propellers that you see since some of our competitors that they're flying with. Check out all of McFarlane's products and more at McFarlaneAviation.com.
And I got an MT propeller from them.
Did you?
Yeah, and made all the difference.
That's not. Now, is yours a constant speed?
It is constant speed.
Yeah, we went and talked to them when we had a little incident with a prop, and they make, it seems like they make bigger propellers. Like, we got smaller planes. They're like, yeah, we don't mess with those little guys.
Those little guys.
They make some great ones for the 180s, 185s, and
and you'll see a lot of the guys.
Huskies.
Yeah, a lot of the guys are switching over, and they're becoming sort of the go-to propeller in this sport.
Well, that's probably a lot to do with Austin and Warren. Austin Clemens, Warren.
Gravel bar.
There it is. And so he's over there. They're all
Andrew Patrick.
repping there. Andrew Patrick's running one now?
He's running one, and he actually just got a new one, I believe, in the last couple of weeks, a 3-blade, fully reversing like Austin has.
Really?
Reversing prop, putting it on his Bumblebee.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's right. So that is the bigger props, for the MTs, and then on the smaller props, we got Duke propellers.
Right.
Let's see. Whoops! Here comes one right now, actually, on Hal Stockman's plane. He's running the Duke propeller, and they're working on a system where they can do a reversible prop.
Really?
That one has the ability, but they're just still refining to getting the tweaking details, because that's the first one to ever do what they're asking it to do. And so he's helping on them. There's all kinds of mechanical stuff in there. It's operated quite a bit differently. Duke propellers, definitely one of our welcome sponsors for sure. So they make a carbon propeller, and what was interesting about them is the hub that the prop goes into is also carbon, and it's pretty neat looking. So Duck, like I always say Duck because it's spelled D-U-C, but they're not.
But I see you wrote it there.
Yeah, Duke propellers.
Phonetically,
Duke
like
propellers
almost
USA.
like Dookie.
That's right.
A little
That's
bit like
right.
Dookie.
They offer a complete range of aeronautical carbon-made propellers and rotors manufactured by Duke Helices Propellers Company, founded in 1997. So Jan Eggenfelter, the winning experimental Bush class with a Duck prop at the Central Florida Classic.
Duke prop.
Duke,
please.
I have some poetic license because I was forced into this.
And not just because of poetry.
I know. So you'll get there's another company out there that everybody pronounces improperly as well. But so Duke with a U.
Duke.
Yep. All right, here comes Hal. And
nice.
Yeah, he just helicoptered it right off the ground.
What was that, about 35, 40 feet?
Yeah, it was nothing. That was nothing. We'll be looking at that score, what they finally do. And I see Brian Moore taxiing up right now. Now, Brian Moore was not here yesterday, so he has had no practice. This is his first run. It's not his first time competing.
He was at the Outlaw Stol.
He was at Outlaw Stol, both years, last year and this year,
right.
And flying his Rans.
Yeah, and he was planning on being here earlier. He got here a little late today because of the clouds. He couldn't get over the mountain. He's a local.
Get over them. Right.
So he was once that burned off, he popped in and.
Right. Well, it's great that he did come. He followed through. Number 401. It's a 2015 Rans S75 Courier. S75, and you can see that's a more typical Rans versus. Hal's, which is just stripped down to nothing and in that takeoff distance. And Brian Moore's from Lancaster, so he's just over the hill.
Just right. I spent some time in Lancaster on Thursday.
Did you?
Yeah, we were coming in here, and there was too much of a crosswind for my comfort level.
Sure.
Maybe Warren would have been okay with it, but
right. Here comes Chad.
I'm just kidding.
Chadwick. Whoa,
nice.
That was awesome. That plane looks so light.
It's beautiful. Yeah, so we diverted to Lancaster for a while.
That's awesome.
Spent an hour and a half or two in Lancaster waiting for the winds to die down.
That is great.
Yeah.
That is great. Here comes Steve Henry, dragging his wheels. His hands are all over the place inside that cockpit, working the flaps and the throttle. That's neat to see. Next time he takes off, look inside the cockpit and watch all the movements that are going on inside that plane.
And the rudder, the rudder inputs he has on that
And
thing.
the rudder as well.
It's like he's dancing.
He
the
is.
entire time he's flying.
They got videos of him doing it, and he moves so fast that you can be like, I can't even tell what he did. You have to do it in slow motion to watch his hands come to drop his flaps. And here comes James Radishek. I should have asked him how you pronounce his name. And here he's sharing the Sling 2 from the Sling Pilot Academy. Oh,
that
yeah.
was nice.
Yeah, he is making Catherine look bad. After she used all the fuel out of it, and now he has got no weight to take off in. I mean, it is cheating. He is doing a great job there. He got off quick.
I'm noticing on the social media here how many kudos you're getting about the great job you're doing, Josh.
It's probably stuck.
Great job. Doing great, Josh. Good job. Thanks for the great online coverage.
Oh,
Josh.
My goodness.
Josh, you are super handsome.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
Look
God.
at all those comments.
I got to get rid of this beard. That's what it is. Yeah, I don't think that's... I think what happens is it's stuck on their computer, and it just keeps replaying what they said to the last guy that was doing this job. That's got to be what it is.
That's probably what's happening.
All right, here comes Hal floating in.
Here comes Hal.
So Hal's running the leading edge slats, which helps that thing float really well. Watch him work that rudder. And nice. Look at that bounce. It's like a slow motion bounce. That is going to be a tough one for Steve Henry or anyone else.
Looks like it was about 53 feet maybe? 54?
I was looking down at the paperwork at the moment. Here comes Brian Moore, right? From Lancaster.
In his Rans.
So he's going to drop down and he's going to start working the wind down here. I am so glad we got a little bit of water on the track because Hal is just destructive.
Well, he's going to... Let's wait till he goes by and see here. And nice,
so he's just floated on. He's holding it right on the edge. As soon as that tail touches, there you go. Good save. Good save. Get some power in there. Good job. All right. Once you realize he's scratched, now just be safe. Great job controlling that.
Very good.
It'll float around. So the real danger to the planes this light, like him and Hal, is turning around and coming downwind. And when they do that turnaround, that's the danger part for them.
Yeah, the wind seems they have picked up a little bit. It seems.
A little bit. I haven't checked it here in a minute. All right, here comes Chadwick. This plane looks so light. And see if he gets the flaps. If that counts.
That was beautiful.
He says that counts.
The line judge says it counts.
And he didn't stop. Or yes, they waved him on. Okay. I don't know if that's going. That was fantastic.
How slow he was. He just floated
His landing was perfect.
So soft.
He could have been a little bit maybe more on the brakes.
More aggressive on the brakes.
And get stopped. And he was working his flaps, but doing a great job. That was beautiful. And here comes Steve Henry. I believe Steve Henry is probably the two-time national champion right now coming in. He drags it in on power. And nice. Beautifully done. Oh my goodness. Him and Hal are going to be duking it out.
Is he the two-time national champion or the both-time national champion?
He's probably the both-time national champion for National STOL. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
The both-time.
All-time, two-time.
He's the all-time.
All-time. That's a little more impressive sounding, isn't it?
That sounds better, doesn't it?
All-time national champion.
All-time national champion, Steve Henry.
Yeah.
In his Wild West Highlander aircraft with a 300 horsepower Yamaha on it, which doesn't help for landing as much as it does takeoff. So let's get this sling coming in. Boy, he's got it low.
Come on, James. Oh,
so close.
A little bit short.
Yeah, so close. You're just afraid to give it a little bit of power, right, and then kind of float across the line. It doesn't take much to gain an extra 100 feet.
It doesn't. If you get that burst of power wrong.
Yeah.
But that's what, as we were talking about props earlier, that's one of the nice things that I like about the MT props. It's so much lighter. It's so much more responsive.
Yeah.
It allows you to kind of give it little bursts of power as you're coming in, as opposed to some of the heavier traditional props where you're putting in power and kind of waiting for it to catch up.
Right.
It's almost like revving a motorcycle. Just little bursts.
And as short as Hal Stockman's landing was, let me see, make sure I get this right. 97 feet for Hal Stockman. Somehow, Steve Henry squeaked out an 83-foot combined landing takeoff.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
I think that's how far I bounced.
Right.
On landing.
Yep. I'm rolling that far down the runway before I figure out how to actually move the controls.
Right.
There comes Brian
There's
Moore.
Brian Moore and his Rans 7S.
Yeah, it's a SS, I guess, from what I read, is a S75. So it's the same as Hal's, except he's got a tail wheel, and Hal probably has nothing left in his airplane.
And I think just a little more traditional in the construction. Hal's is sort of a deconstructed plane.
That's exactly right.
Aircraft deconstructed.
Yeah, Hal's is for competition. Right. However, I still have to fly it to the events.
Right.
Because the wings don't fold on that puppy, I don't think. And so he takes off what he can. And he might pull off 800 pounds of gear off of the wing struts and the back, the baggage compartment.
Everything.
Yeah.
You know, Josh, I think I might need to leave you here. I just heard from the technical booth in my head here.
In your head.
In my head, or maybe it wasn't the technical booth.
So you want other people to listen to what's in your head?
Listen to what's in my head. Red House Barbecue.
Whoa! Look at that for Hal Stockman. That is so impressive. So impressive.
That was a short one yet again.
Were you hearing about the Red House Barbecue?
The Red House in my head.
In your head.
Red House Barbecue is now open here on the field for, guess what? Barbecue.
Red House Barbecue is now open on the field. That sounds great. I know I'm going to lose you here in a minute.
I ate there yesterday.
Is that where it's from?
In fact, I believe I bought you lunch and said it somewhere.
That is here I am doing this.
And you were stuck over here.
And I got stuck over here, and I went over and I couldn't find it, and now I feel terrible.
Oh, it's delicious. But you have a second chance.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
You can redeem.
Awesome. I hope somebody else ate that. That was awesome. Brian Moore not doing too bad. As Chadwick takes the line. Chadwick Wirtz. W-I-R-T-Z. You know, common spelling.
Wirtz. I don't know.
Probably.
I'm just making stuff up now.
Very could be. Watch this guy. Watch this. Look at that.
Nice.
Oh,
what was
my
that?
goodness.
70-something feet.
Gosh. Can you imagine if that, I think, because that's a stock motor, if I'm not mistaken. That is an O200, the same engine that comes on a Cessna 150.
Wow.
Can you imagine if that plane had a couple more horsepower? He would be in contention for the championship.
Or 300 horsepower?
Or 300 horsepower, like Steve Henry here as he takes the line, dragging his wheels. Holy moly, look at that.
Wow. What, about 30 feet, maybe 35 feet?
That was something else. Hal Stockman has squeaked out. He got a 41 on his takeoff, and Steve Henry just got a 34 on his second takeoff.
Wow.
34. 4 feet shorter than his first, and Hal's is 3 feet shorter than his first.
And those two are always battling each other, aren't they? Steve and Hal.
They are. And best of friends, too. They're both great guys. And there goes James showing Catherine how it's done when you don't have fuel. And here comes in a jet. I don't want to buy those new tires. Or that fuel bill right now at $10 a gallon.
Fuel bill.
What is it here?
I haven't bought jet fuel, so I wish I had to worry about how expensive jet fuel was.
I like to worry. I just want to know how the other half lives. That's all.
You just like to
pretend. What do they pay for fuel?
A lot more than we do.
Right. Right.
But I think we paid. That's around $7 a gallon here.
Is it? Because I heard it's like 9 and 10.
At one unnamed airport along the way here, where we almost stopped, but then looked at the fuel price. It was I believe it was $9.98 or something for 100 low lead. Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah. So we decided to go somewhere else.
For sure. Here comes Hal in final.
Crawling in.
Now he's got those slats locked out. Flaps in. When I say locked out, they're permanently locked out. Steve Henry does the same thing. They don't let him move on them. Oh my goodness. Oh, that looks better than his last one.
That's incredible.
Yep. His last one was Well, his takeoff was 41. His last landing was 53. Do you think this is less than 53? 45 feet.
Wonderful.
Hal Stockman now has a total of 86 feet. And even with that, somehow, by some miracle, Steve Henry is still 3 feet shorter.
3 feet.
How?
And that's what's amazing in this competition. You're down to
And Hal's
feet.
flying a kite.
Single feet.
Single feet. That's right.
Single feet?
Feetses. And
Feetses,
everything
foots.
boils down to
Foots.
3 inches.
3
That's
inches.
really what I think
right.
it is.
And honestly, at this point, with some of these guys, it might. You know, these guys are so tight,
Yes.
so close to each other.
They are. And I think this is Brian Moore entering here in his 2015 Rands S7. We are going to get a Stearman demo. I just heard that is fantastic by Dustin Mosier, who was flying the Cessna 120.
I wonder if he'll take passengers.
I
Just
do not
one.
know.
Just
one?
Just me.
Just one. Yeah, so we got a little hop there, carrying a little bit extra. His flaps are still down, so he's kind of wanting to pick back up again.
There's a lot going on during that landing.
There is a lot going on.
You know.
Yeah.
And, getting to all those things is challenging.
Right.
Especially hopping down the runway. This is a pretty rough runway.
Now
actually.
so Chadwick coming in this Cub. This is a 2008 Cub Crafters CC1-100 Space S2 C3PO. And so this guy, he comes in and watch this plane float. It is amazing. It just doesn't want to touch the ground.
It just
skims
slows
the ground.
down. Yeah.
Look at that rudder
That is
working.
so slow. He's
love
working it
seeing
hard. That wind's kicking up a little.
Yeah, it just picked up, which could work to his advantage.
If he can hold it. No, he touched down just before the line. And he's kind of going around. I don't know if we're going to call that a go around.
So if he felt uncomfortable, as soon as he adds power, the plane becomes more stable, and so it becomes a lot safer. And if he didn't like the way the wind felt, give it power, go around. This will count against him because he did touch the ground, but this is just for safety. Give it power and go around so he doesn't have to worry about the wind pulling him off course.
Good choice. Good decision making there.
Steve Henry in Yeehaw 6. He's building Yeehaw 8 right now. Yeehaw 7 he did sell, which is very similar. Basically the same plane as this one, just with a different wing. Look at that rudder work. All right, he got a little bit longer landing on that one. He gave up a couple of feet on that one.
And here comes James in the sling. And it looks like Steve's going to get off just in time.
Yes, here it comes. Working that rudder.
Hold it.
Hold it. There we go.
Nice.
That was really nice.
He held it right off the ground.
That is great. This could potentially be the shortest sling landing ever.
In the history of the sling.
In the history of the sling. So it looks like they are not going to count Chad's landing. As he was bouncing, he gave it power to go around. They're going to let him go again. I think given the circumstances and who he's up against, that's probably fair.
Safety first.
Yep.
That's definitely key here.
Yeah. So Hal's lifting more dirt clods today than dust, so that's a plus.
Although the dust is starting.
Here it comes.
Yeah, they sprayed down all the dirt this morning with the water truck, but
yep, that sure helped.
It's drying out pretty quick now.
It absolutely did.
As the sun's beating down now and the wind's drying it all out.
Yep. Here comes James Radicek in the Sling aircraft. We were just speaking with him just before that. Says he cruises at about 100, or a little bit more than 100, but said it was surprising. Gave him a great flight. Here, he really likes the way that the plane flies.
And here's Chad on short final with his second attempt at this landing after that go around.
Here he comes.
Here he comes, holding it off, floating, and he's a little short.
Little short. All right.
But he got to stop quick.
That's okay.
He felt a lot better about that one.
Good. So sounds like this sling doesn't need any fuel to run, is what I was hearing.
It just works on air?
Fumes. I mean, you put a gallon in it.
Put a gallon,
something like
and
that.
the evaporative fumes just feed that engine.
It barely uses anything in that Rotax 912. And what it does use, Catherine's already used up, so he just gets the leftover and then gets the short takeoffs.
Wow. That's the key, huh?
I guess so. It's working for him.
It is.
Catherine did have a really short takeoff here a little bit ago. I can see Sarah Henry out there doing her filming. Doing all the filming for the YouTube channel, Steve Henry on YouTube. She does a great job. All the different national STOL events, everything STOL related, STOL drag, and hopefully here shortly doing some backcountry videos as well. Sarah's done such a great job in turning things around for Steve when he stopped doing videos for a long time.
Right.
And she got into it, just does a great job.
Wow.
Okay, Hal.
That was a good one for Hal.
It might be time for everybody else to go home. Hal has just killed it right there.
That was pretty good.
What do you think that was?
I'm going to say 37.
37. I'm hearing 37. It is 37. All right, 37. Steve has got a 34 capability in him. He did do a 34 on his second run, so he does have the ability to beat that, but that is going to be tough.
And then there's Brian Moore, and it looks like about 88.
88? Okay.
I'm close to that. I don't have the official number. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. It is really, I mean, once you've adjusted to the breeze here, it is a beautiful day.
It is.
The blue skies have come out. It is really nice.
Yeah, as long as you got your chapstick.
That was so nice of Todd to give us all chapstick. Wow, that Cub Crafters plane gets off the ground quick of Chadwick worked. That was great. The plane just looks so light.
It does.
It is in the light experimental class, so I guess
so it is light.
I guess the CC11-11 space S2C3PO is actually a light version.
It's a light version of the light.
Yeah.
It's a
and
light.
he might have some R2D2 mods on there too. I'm not really sure. All right, Steve is not going to be happy with that takeoff. I didn't look, but I heard the throttle come in and come back out.
What was up with that?
I don't know. Maybe he changed it. Maybe he didn't like the wind.
He didn't change his mind. He thought about changing his mind.
He doesn't use gauges very much. He flies by the feel of the plane, and if he doesn't like something, he gets out of it.
Okay.
So that was probably an adjustment that he made that he just didn't like the way that it felt.
Yeah, and I noticed he has his muffler on today, which I know affects his performance a little bit. But
yes, he doesn't have a cruise mode, and what he likes to do is take the muffler off, but what he's doing is running it. It runs too lean right now.
Right.
And because of all the computers that run everything, that was a nice takeoff.
That was.
By James. Because of all the computers that run the turbos and make all the adjustments in it for the air fuel mixtures and all that, it runs richer with the exhaust pipe on it or the muffler on it. It'll run richer here at this altitude and runs better. So during some tests yesterday, it was popping, and so been running a little bit lean, so he ended up putting it back on. He often does that when he's got access to the guys who operate the computers from Norway. They'll make the adjustments to the motor over the computer, over the phone, and and they can do that. But right now they've been a little tied up. Everybody's really busy. We've been on the road, so he can just make those same adjustments by doing something completely different and
just leaving the muffler on.
Moving mechanical things around rather than letting the computers handle it.
It's amazing how much quieter it is. You know? Normally I got my ears plugged when he takes off.
And scratch.
Ah,
it was so close.
So close.
I saw that coming in, but I've also been surprised by him when he gooses it at the last minute and gets over that line. Hal Stockman, the most famous man on the internet that's not on the internet. I just sat down with him about a week ago and showed him that he has a Facebook page that he doesn't know about called the Hal Stockman Experience. I thought he was joking with me when I handed him my phone. I'm like, hey, look at all this stuff on your page. He says, what page? He really didn't know. He sat there. I gave him my phone, and I walked away, and I looked back over my shoulder because I know he's joking with me. He wasn't. He sat there and looked at this page because it's been going on for about a year. He had no idea. He has no internet, barely uses a phone, doesn't do computers, and he's got this huge following on the internet, doesn't even know it.
But he knew how to use your phone.
He knew how to use my phone because I just said, put your finger here and move it that way.
Right.
Yeah. All right, here comes Brian Moore and his Rans S7.
It's a little long. And a little bounce.
Yeah.
A little faster.
Looks like his flaps aren't completely engaged, you know, like not full flaps.
Yeah.
Looks like he's just taking it easy. And maybe that's because of the wind, too.
Right.
The wind does appear to be picking up just a little bit. Or that could just be the dust that he made, making it look like that.
Talking about dust, we're getting ready for Hal to pass us here
comes
again
Hal.
in a few minutes.
Everybody close their eyes when Hal comes by. But wave.
Wave with your eyes closed. Yep. It might be Hal.
As he drives the plow by. All right.
And here comes Chad.
This should be Chadwick. Chad just had his best takeoff at 59 feet on that last one. So good job. That is impressive. It looks like a bone stock aircraft, and I don't know. It just looks so like a feather. It looks so light when he comes in. It just floats, and it proves it when he goes to take off, and it looks the same way.
Yeah, it just floats.
So we like him to get down closer to the ground before they actually scrub all of their speed off.
He's holding it off nicely.
Here he goes.
And can he continue to? No. Little touchdown before the line. Bounced it in.
Darn it. So close.
And so slow.
Sport Class S2 is what it says. Sport Class S2. I don't have that on his thing, but on his tail it says Sport Class S2.
Huh.
And here comes Steve Henry. Steve has a faster approach than most all the competitors. The Highlander doesn't fly as slow as some of the other competitors can. The wing is different, made different. And so what they do is they just add a little bit more angle of attack, and he drags it in under power and makes it work. It's super, super competitive. We see a lot of them around. Okay.
Nice.
Not his best. He's over 50 feet on that.
It looked like he thought he was going to come up short, maybe, so he added a little burst of power and floated a little bit more than he's used to.
Exactly. With 300 horse, when you give it a little bit of power, that thing can jump forward quite a bit on a plane that only weighs 800 pounds.
And that's exactly what we were talking about earlier. Steve knows how not to scratch. You know, that was a good example of that there. It was a little longer than he probably is
that was his longest. That was a 57.
Yeah, but 57 is his longest.
57. So
that's incredible.
Looks like his first run is going to be his second run. My mistake. Might be his winning run, second one at 81 feet. Looks like Steve Henry is going to take it again unless James or Radicek
comes in with a negative 27.
Comes in with a negative 27. There we go. Boom. That is good. Great landing.
Beautiful.
He looks really good. That is short.
It is short, especially in that plane. I mean,
Can you imagine him doing that at the Torrance Airport and the tower would freak out? That is really good.
That is.
Really, really good.
So I believe we're getting the Stearman demo next. Am I correct on that?
It looks like it is moving out to the edge.
So that's the end of the competition portion. Great. Okay.
Alrighty, as our light experimental, class comes by, that is the end of the competition. It looks like in that class it's going to be Steve Henry at 81 feet, and then right behind him, as always, Hal Stockman right there on his heels. For second, And then, let's see here, 361 is going to be the sling. So it looks like the sling had a really good day and beat out, if I'm looking at this correctly. Oh, no, they moved him in. That's the pacer there. Sling was running at 361 feet. And then 648. I want to say that the last one was with James, as he's sharing that aircraft with Catherine. Catherine at 648. And then we got the 2008 Cub Crafters. Okay, they're kind of updating me there. I'm trying to. Here we go. Yeah, now they're all. Cub Crafters aircraft made in at 156, so that is certainly respectable. Now we're going to have a demo here next with the Stearman, and then after the Stearman flies, we're going to let some of the STOL competitors come out and just have fun if they feel like coming out and flying, and we will carry on with that. All right, in the light experimental, in order, number 1 comes Steve Henry, number 2 is Hal Stockman, third place is Chadwick Wirtz, fourth is James Ratchek. I was sure he was beating Catherine out. Don't know how he's doing it. And then fifth is Brian Moore and the Rands. That is surprising that James was able to beat the Rands on that. He just had a really good takeoff and landing together combined. And then rounding that out in that category is Catherine Stanley for sixth place, also flying the Sling together. It's neat to see one aircraft flown by two different people and see the capabilities of that.
Right.
And equally exciting is the things we have coming up for the demo, watching the Stearman, is this water truck coming up, who's equally excited. I mean, I'm excited about it.
I'm excited.
Aren't you?
With my eyes right now are going to be really excited.
And for those folks who weren't here yesterday, well, this is way, way better now that we got some water on it, and I'm pretty happy about that. In the Bush class, looks like I got two competitors. Looks like first place goes to Sean Francis at 337 feet. And let's see here. Then Scott Manchin. Did you see Scott Manchin flying there today?
I don't know that he flew. It doesn't look like he flew today.
He did not fly out there. Experimental Bush is going to be Tyler Younger in first. And that looks like, is that I think it's for Tyler as well in Experimental Bush, because Anthony Lombardo pulled out. Then in Heavy Touring, first place goes to Don Mickey.
I also got second place, third place, and last place.
Well, let me shake your hand. Congratulations. You won all the positions. That
all
is
of them.
Fantastic.
I guess I get 3 trophies.
You do. Take that, Warren. Warren never got 3 trophies. Andy Patry's like, I never got 3 trophies.
Yeah, I never got 3 trophies.
Yeah, what is up with that?
I can now add more trophies to my shelf of third place trophies.
So the whole key to the winning a championship seems to be location.
Just show up when the other guys don't.
That's right.
Timing. Make sure you show up for an event where they've just done mods to their plane and can't quite.
I love that. That is a great technique, and I want to talk to you later about some investments and how to go about that, because I'm sure you've got that on there too.
Right.
And congratulations on that, by the way.
Thanks, man.
And you did earn it, even though these other guys didn't complete or came out. You did some great flying.
It was fun, and I'm happy with what happened. I'm happy with the flying. It was great.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So in the light sport, we have James O'Brien taking first place in that champ. That was a beautiful champ with all those modifications. Then also we've got Dustin Mosier. It looks like on the scorecards he's still in the light sport class. It's not an experimental, so I think there might be an adjustment made there here shortly. Then Dustin Mosier, and then Tom Morley. That was the Cessna 120, and let's see here, not Thomas Morley, because the Pipistrel did not arrive. 1 and 2, but probably couldn't get here because of weather. Then in the light touring, we had Brian Weathers in the Cessna 150. Looks like he squeaked out the first place spot over Jeff Abrams. That was a tight competition. They were kind of back and forth yesterday. Brian Weathers in the Cessna 150 had 499 feet total, and the Brian Weathers, who was up here with us just a bit ago. Jeff Abrams, who was up with us a couple minutes ago, was 558 feet. So, well, what is that, a 59-foot difference between those two, and really squeaked it out on the 150. So I think that's super cool that the Cessna 150 took the light touring class, which is often taken by a Cessna 170 in most cases, and we don't have one of those here today, so that's awesome. And then we got JP Odell taking third place in the 66 Cessna 172G with 591 feet. I'm so glad that when his nose wheel fell into that squirrel hole yesterday that he did not have a prop strike. It was so close,
wasn't it?
It was. He could have easily had that. His wheel was up to the hub when it hit that, and it just stopped. And they had a tough time getting it out of there, but we went around and filled up some squirrel holes, so we didn't see any of that today, so that's pretty awesome. They were pretty prevalent in the pits as well. All right, so the lunch is open. Food is over there behind us. Where are we hiding? Where am I looking from my direction?
It's right here, right behind us.
Right directly behind the crowd. We got a barbecue going on, so go get your food. We're going to take a lunch break right now, and then we're going to come back and watch the Stearman fly. So we'll be... Excellent. All right, so I am Josh Richling.
And I'm Don Mickey for Husky National Stole.
Husky National Stole 2022 in Tehachapi. Thank you.
Tehachapi,
I will see you
California.
after the lunch break.
All right.